Good evening. Welcome to another edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show, Red Pill Edition. My name is Leon Jones, and during this segment, what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk about the, of course, Manosphere Meetup that we had in Atlanta, Georgia. And believe it or not, from my humble opinion, I believe that Brother Nate and Brother Theo did a good job. Now, when I got to the Manosphere meeting, I was a little late. But what I got out of the event is there was no talking about women. There was no talking about sex. There was no talking about other YouTubers. It was strictly positive from my humble opinion. Good evening, Anna. How are you? Good evening. We got Brother Brian Davis in the building. Greetings. Hope all is well. All is well. We had a good time down in Atlanta. Shout out to you, Grago. Welcome to the chat. It's good to be back up here again. And what I'm going over tonight is the Manosphere meeting. And I did take the time to drive 9 hours down to Atlanta from in Indiana. And the funniest thing that happened to me, I got a little impatient coming back because I got lost coming back because they're doing so much construction on a lot of the roads in Atlanta. Ended up going through the mountains. The roads were snaking real bad, got caught up in some rain, stopped at Mickey D's, and then went into a farm road in Tennessee. I tried to get out, got stuck. Luckily, somebody helped us out. And that person had Isaiah on his license plate. Isaiah. So down in Tennessee, there are a lot of individuals who do believe in the Bible. Now again, shout out to Little Big Nate. Shout out to Minister Jack. I got to interview him. Shout out to Big Mike Drops. Shout out again to Theo Wolf. Theo and Brother Nate really made this event happen. And there were some chinks in the armor, but it was the first event. And with the first event, mistakes are going to be made. The next one will be better. Now, we were downtown Atlanta. I got there again on Friday, right around, I don't know, 4:30. We had to stand up and introduce ourselves. It was about roughly, I'd say 70 people because I'd walked in on the tail end and I met some interesting brothers like Great Britain. Of course, I met Obsidian. I met Hoop Jargon, Brother Clue, and Brother Clue should be in the house pretty soon. I also met Sir Dice. Shout out to him. I met Big Mag. He and Sir Tice were having hat battles. Of course, I had to give it to Big Mag, but overall, the event did happen. And yes, Clue is hilarious. In fact, Clue had a good camera. In fact, me and Clue, and there were other people. We were shooting videos. Of course, I had to utilize a cell phone for mine. I took my GoPro. I have to learn how to use my GoPro. I would have liked to use it so I could get better pictures. But again, the scenery was great down in Atlanta. And I got a chance to drive down to Peachtree Street, saw the mall in action. Now, I didn't get a chance to stay in the Buckhead. I stayed in Sandy Spring, which that's just outside of Atlanta. Now, Sandy Spring is another one of those cities. If you've ever been down to Atlanta, Atlanta is cities on top of cities on top of cities. And of course, the traffic definitely gets backed up. Yes, he did put a video on his channel, Grago, of Theo and the camera. Yeah, he had a good quality camera. In fact, he had a Rode microphone, which if you are taking shots with a camera, a Rode microphone is very, very good. And again, shout out to the chat. What I'm talking about tonight is the Manosphere Meetup. And of course, we had a few detractors, and that's always going to happen because for the detractors, they didn't believe the event was going to take place. Now, we're talking about having another one next November, but Brother Theo and Brother Nate, they will give us the information. Good evening, antisocial socialite. How are you? Welcome to the chat. But again, the the meetup, what I got out of it, from my humble opinion, it was very positive. It wasn't what everybody expected. You have a number of individuals that thought we were going to be talking about women all day, sex all day, and it wasn't that at all. In fact, it was a very positive event. I mean, the energy was it was something unbelievable because I'm in a fraternity, and my fraternity always sets up for all types of conventions, but that event had more people than my fraternity, and nobody, absolutely nobody, had a problem. Shout out to you, brother Lando. Salute to you, brother. Welcome to the chat. But again, it was an experience, and I did not mind driving 9 hours. It was well worth it. Of course, Tommy Jean went with me, so that made the drive a lot better. But when it comes to a number of the brothers that I met, a number of them were professionals. I mean, they were lawyers, engineers. The IT conference that Brother Theo set up was fantastic. I even asked questions, and I'm not an IT guy. Good evening, Jenny. How are you? Welcome to the chat. Brother Nate got a chance to speak, and Brother Nate sounds the same in person as he does on YouTube. He can get animated. I saw Obsidian. Hoop Jargon spoke. Uh, Now, the first night, I did not get out of there till 1 o'clock. Now, driving 9 hours, going straight to the hotel to check in, and then I had to change, and then I had to find a hotel. And the worst thing about it, I can tell you this, is the parking situation. Forgot to tell Brother Nate that we have to do something about the parking because each day I had to pay for parking. Now, the first night I went in there, I had to pay $29 for parking. When I went in The second day, which was Saturday, I had to pay 18. So I spent almost $50 in parking, along with, for the most part, $80 in gas, which that's okay because when you have an event, especially meeting brothers for the first time off of YouTube, and a number of them look just like they did as if they were on YouTube. Now, of course, again, like I said, you have some detractors out there, and it's okay to give constructive criticism about the event, but I'm always going to sit there and ask you this: what are you doing? See, it's easy to criticize somebody from the sidelines, but how are you going to perform when you get in the game? And yes, some of the videos that I took, they were definitely amateur because I didn't have the right camera. Shout out to my boy Dante. The event looked well done. Salute to you, brothers. Thank you, brother. Listen, we need all the salutes we can get. I'm going to tell you this: putting on an event is difficult, especially when you don't have the equipment that you want. We didn't know anything about parking. We didn't know anything about food. I know Brother Theo paid for most of the hotels. I decided to pay for my own room. The hard work that Nate and Theo put into this event really shows. Thank you, Grago. It did. And, I want everybody to appreciate all the brothers who had come to this event, because there were people who made the drive, like me and Brother Minister Jap and Brother Smith. Sam Smith and Minister Jap drove from Chicago down. I drove from Lafayette, Indiana down. You had, uh, again, you had Clue there. You had Hoop Jargon. He flew in from California. You also had Brother Full Circle. He flew in from Nevada. Now, Full Circle came in on Thursday and he flew out on Friday. And I'm going to say this: Brother Nate was right when he said we needed like minded brothers. It is very true, because if we had individuals that have come from other channels who were against us politically or against the Manosphere period, there would have been a lot of conflicts. We didn't want that. We wanted to show professionalism. Now, I got a few of the brothers' numbers. Like, again, shout out to Brother Mike Drop. Check his channel out. Yes, they all paved the way for bigger and greater things to come. You're right, Jenny V. You have to admire the dedication it took to get things off the ground. Yeah, that's right. A number of individuals don't know how much planning goes into an event like this. And you are downtown Atlanta. And during that whole weekend, you had the Georgia Bulldogs, you had the Alabama Crimson Tides. They were playing at the Mercedes Benz Dome for the SEC championship. And you had, just looking out the window, there was Lenox Mall. You had a lot of people going in and out of the mall. The traffic right in that area was packed. You had different bars open. You had people from the city there. You had people from different parts of the country. And you think Atlanta was crowded over the weekend now? Try going in the summertime. It is much worse. And with the congestion, that made it bad as well, because you had to make some detours. And I know I got lost a few times and I rarely get lost, and I got impatient with getting lost. But overall, the good thing is I made it. I want to encourage the space and watch it grow because it's amazing to watch. But Nate and some of his support dismisses me as if I am trying to sabotage it. Do you have any advice about that? Love and you know what, Anna? I think what happened in the last chat, I was on a panel. It may have been a little conflict or a little issue you had, and Nate didn't mean anything. What was going through his mind then? He's sometimes people have something else going on because it's happened to me, and they tend to project it in the wrong direction, and that's what happened. Because, and this was last week, I presume. You think about it. He was trying to get himself ready for the Manosphere Meetup. That's what was going on. And I would say when you get on anybody's panel, just make sure you have some decorum. Um, you are always welcome here, Anna. And in my chat, please be professional because that's one thing that I learned from these brothers at the Manosphere. Everybody was professional, and that's what I want to do on this channel. Let's keep it so we can have adult conversations. This is not a place where you're going to come and you're going to bicker. No, I want to basically stick to the positive goals here. And I'm just happy that I'm back to share this event with you. Yes, the Atlanta airport, Atlanta Hartsfield is one of the busiest airports in the world. Yes, it is. That's why I did not fly. The one in Chicago was not Midway, but the other one. That's also bad as well. But in the end, and I just want everybody to know I appreciate you all for supporting us because what I wanted to give you is what actually took place because all the images that I shot, they were unedited. I know my finger got in the way occasionally because I was utilizing my phone. And yes, let's keep the energy positive. Let's move on. Don't worry about it. This is a new day. And let me tell you this so you all know this. The panels from the Little Big Nates, the Bernard Rileys, me, all of us, I believe they're going to be better. And here's why. We met each other in person. We had a chance to converse. We had a chance to sit down, eat, drink, be in the same room together. It was it was it was more than a convention to me. It was real brotherhood in Atlanta. And don't get me wrong, I had my doubts because I told little big Nate last night that yeah, I'll be there, but my mind, I believed there was going to be 25, 30 people because see, it would have been more people, but they canceled it. And they canceled it because they didn't believe a lot of people were going to be there. I was definitely surprised. And little big Nate, Theo, they did a good job. Well, thank you, Jenny, and I'm glad you got a chance to see what was going on for yourself. And let me tell you this, do not listen to the detractors because they're always going to have something to say because they didn't do this event. And I say shout out to C Boogie. He had an event like this talking about self-improvement. Shout out to Mahogany and BNT. They had a positive event. Now, when people are having positive events and you're on their platforms, give them support, give them a shout out, because it is not easy doing YouTube videos. It is not easy doing live streams. It is not easy sometimes dealing with yourself as well, because you have to be in the right frame of mind. And I can tell you, driving that 9 hours, I was on fumes. I didn't get a chance to speak because I wasn't prepared to speak. I was going to talk about civil engineering to give everybody a different avenue for opportunities, because the Manosphere meeting was actually on Friday. The IT portion of it was on Saturday. And of course, if you all are viewing them, Minister Jap, Sam Smith, Bernard Riley, and of course, Obsidian, they were in the presidential suite. Now, I'm going to tell you this: you just don't get to the presidential suite without having at least $1,300 to $1,500 a night. I mean, again, we were in an upscale hotel in Buckhead, which is close to downtown Atlanta. And I've been through Atlanta, but that was actually my first time I visited the city. Very nice city. Again, it's congested. I don't give them I don't give any of them my time or energy. It is easy to criticize. That's right. If you are dealing with people who are jealous, you're dealing with people who are going to be name calling, you're dealing with individuals who are hurting because the event didn't turn out the way they wanted to turn out. See, a number of individuals were looking at it to be very negative. However, it wasn't negative at all. It was it was extremely positive. And I know individuals are wondering, well, how could a bunch of YouTubers who had never seen each other, who had never touched each other, carry on with that event? And again, shout out to Minister Jap, shout out to Bernard Wright, shout out to Obsidian. I agree with everything he says. However, he flew down there. And for the brothers who made it, it's a sacrifice. And one bit of information that I did learn, and I'm going to share it all with you. I encourage you all to get a talent. If you're working now, take some of your money, put it on the side, and start your own business. And I'll tell you why. You know, a lot of us, particularly in my generation, Gen X, and the baby boomers, one thing that has weakened my generation and the baby boomer generation is having a job. Now, when you're younger, you should have a job so you can learn the skill and after 10 years, start a business. Now, this is coming from college from the age of 22 to 32. After that, start a business. Because I'm going to tell you this, I was in the military for 17 years. Certainly, you have to take orders. But when you get out in the real world and you work for big corporations, and that includes the government, and you got to deal with human resources, that could be very tiring and stressing because you have a lot of layers you got to go through. And when you're trying to go to work, you're trying to make it on time, you got to worry about other coworkers out there trying to snitch on you get in your business and they don't know what happens. And they don't know what happened. The workplace has become a joke. And what I've seen from some of these brothers is that they have their own. Shout out to brother Osama. He would have been down there, but he had to work. And he was telling me that he was made fun of because he cuts grass. Well, the individuals who are making fun of Osama don't understand that Osama is making money from cutting grass. Yes, sadly, most boys don't have fathers that can pass down a trade to them. That's correct. That's correct. That is correct. What's going on, hoop jargon? Eh, By the way, I met this brother. This brother he's a great speaker. Hoop jargon flew all the way out to Atlanta from California. He's a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Society, and he was supposed to go to the Jackson State championship game. And shout out to Jackson State, which is a HBU down in Jackson, Mississippi. They won the SWAC, the Southwestern Athletic Conference. And you know who's coaching that school? Deion Sanders. Prime time, if you remember him, who played with the Atlanta Falcons, the Dallas Cowboys, the San Francisco 49ers. And of course, later on in his career, he wore number 37 and played with the Baltimore Ravens next to Ray Lewis. And then he played with the Washington Redskins. Shout out to you, brother Theo. Uh, look, my brother, you inspired me. Okay. What you went through for us, I got to give you a big shout out. You laid down the law and you allowed that event to take place the way it should take place. You taught some individuals who were highly interested in IT. Now, I'm not an IT guy, but I even asked questions because it was very important to participate. I even took notes. And Brother Theo, I'm going to speak next time when you have the next one. And if you need my help, you let me know what I can do because regardless of what happened at this one still turned out great. And I'm proud of all the brothers who chipped in. It was fun. It was a good sight. Again, I want everybody to like, share, and subscribe. Get me to 2,000 subscribers, please. I'm at 1920. I want this channel to continue to grow because you're going to get nothing but positivity on this channel. And yes, for all of you individuals sitting in the chat, hit the Cash App if you'd like. Not a preacher. I'm not going to beg, but leaving something for your support is appreciated. And yes, brother Theo, you did a good job. It went as advertised, and a number of individuals who missed it, they missed a good event. And once you have the first event and it worked, you best believe we have set the standard for the next event. Now, wherever you had it, I know Brother Nate said it was tentative in Houston, Texas. Now, you and I talked about Atlanta, Brother Theo, and it's crowded, but I think wherever you have it next is going to be better than Atlanta because I know you will make sure of it. And if you have anything for me to do, you let me know. And matter of fact, you got my email and I'll leave my phone number for you as well. And Brother Hoop Jargon, that's right, Theo Woff, he's the man right now. He kept the game tight. And something about Brother Theo, too. And Theo was always good at, he's a good problem solver. He got the food situation straight. And Brother Theo, when we get down there, wherever you go, make sure the parking is straight, because when I arrived at the Buckhead, I didn't know anything about the parking. And again, I kicked out a lot of money for it, but that's okay. The Manosphere Meetup was worth it, and it came at the right time, right around Christmas time. But now that I've met a number of the brothers, let's keep on making this area of the Manosphere grow. And Brother Theo, something you said that was very, very true. We weren't disturbed because, again, there weren't any women there. I know why you came up with the concept. It worked. I mean, you solved problems. Yes. Hoop jargon. Yeah, he left early. Well, I actually, and I'm sorry I missed the breakfast too. I left early Sunday because I had to get back to go to work the next day. Oh yeah. Yes. It was worth it. It was worth it. Brother Theo, regardless of the chinks in the armor, it was enjoyable. In fact, that's in a long time, that's the best outing I had, because I knew when I drove that 9 hours, I knew I was going to have a good time. And the funny thing about it is, I didn't have to drink, I didn't have to smoke, and I didn't have to go to a club at all. And I didn't have to worry about women. I was around positive brothers who were professional, just like yourself. And I learned, if you want to be the best, you got to be around the best. Oh yeah, I I didn't oversleep, brother Hoop jargon. I just had to get out of there, come home, so I can get to work. Unfortunately, my Baltimore Ravens lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers, for you Steeler fans out there, by 1 point, but that's okay. That's okay. But I will tell you this, that's actually the first time I have been to Atlanta, Georgia. I've been through it a few times. Are there some areas I want to see again when I take a visit? Certainly. But wherever we have the next one, that's going to be good. And got somebody new. Well, good evening to you, Sharita. How are you? We are good over here. I'm talking about the Manosphere Meetup, and just want you to make yourself comfortable and enjoy the chat that I'm going to continue to give. It's going to be all positive here. And let me see. Oh, Jenny V, you went to Atlanta, Georgia. Well, how did you like Atlanta? How did you like it? Um, it's Atlanta's a pretty nice city. It was just, at that time, it was overwhelming, too much traffic. In fact, when I got down there, I had to go from removing the cold weather gear, because it's much colder here in Indiana than it is in Atlanta, Georgia. It was 70 something degrees when we arrived in Atlanta. Reading the Bible. Undead Chronic did a video on the Bible versus women. It was funny. I haven't seen Undead Chronic in a long time. I have to check out some of his information. Absolutely, Jenny V. That's exactly what I said and what Tommy Jean said. Too much concrete. All of the area that we were in, because I was in Sandy Spring and I had to drive to the Buckhead. I saw nothing but high-rise buildings. And I tell you, I could never live in a high-rise building. And Sharita, you are from Chicago, but you live in Lithonia, Georgia. I know where that is. I live about 2 hours from Chicago in Lafayette, Indiana. I used to live in Portage, Indiana. And even though Chicago has its problems, there are some fantastic places to go in Chicago, especially when you go into the Loop. I like traveling right along Lakeshore Drive just to see the lake, just to see Soldier Field. And then I make my way up to Waukegan. I used to be stationed at Great Lakes when I was in the Navy. Hoop Jargon says, I'm not a Christian, but I know the principles well. Well, you just remember, Hoop Jargon, you got a belief in something. And having some belief also helps your integrity out. What's up, Brother Beeman? Shout out to you too. Welcome to the chat. But, in the long run, it was, you know, I'm still, I'm in what we call good shock from that meeting, because I never knew a day would come where I would actually meet individuals who were on YouTube. Okay. Everybody that I've seen on YouTube, I've gone through panels, I've done content. Shout out to my boy Osama Abdul. Listen, you got to come down to the next one. It would have been nice to have you. Well, I hope to have 10K subs, but for now, I'm happy with what I got. I got people like you who are supporting me, and you're a fantastic brother. You're also a good speaker. I'd like to hear you talk about something. Give us some information on how you got into your lawn care business. And to me, you have your own business, brother. And I tell you something, having your own business, it's better than what I got. Yeah, I make money, but I'm working toward my own business to get it going. I want to have a home inspection service. The name of my business is Quality Control Inspection Services. Even though having your own business can be a headache, it's much better than getting up, going to work for somebody. And you got to worry about coworkers who want to snitch on you for something, or you have to worry about the office politics. And you have a lot of kindergarten behavior when you go to work for somebody. So salute to you, brother, and thank you for stopping by this channel. And I'm gonna be opening it up in about 25 minutes, so stay tuned. I'm gonna be opening it up. That's right. Home inspection is a good business to be in. Now, what I have to do, I have to find out how to get licensed, because here in Indiana, you have to be licensed, and then I have to go get about $100,000 worth of general liability insurance, because in case something happens, uh, and I have an S corporation, I don't have an LLC. I chose the S corporation because it's right in between a C corporation and an LLC. The only difference is I don't have that pass through taxation or double taxation like a C corporation does. In other words, they don't tax dividends or they don't tax the corporation. They just tax the corporation with an S corporation. And I get the benefits of an LLC as well. That's what I like about it. But when I get everything going, I don't want to run it public, because once you start including stock options, then you no longer have control over your operation. The stockholders have control. Jenny, no, Grago says, I'm planning a trip for my birthday. My mom is taking me to Clearwater Beach in Florida. Well, great. You're going to enjoy Florida around this time of year. It is very, very warm. Very, very warm. Just like Atlanta was. it is definitely warm. Again, want everybody to like, share, and subscribe to the 401 Talk Zone radio show. And if you can, chat, drop Nate's channel in there as well. Brother Sama, general liability insurance is dirt cheap these days. Insurance is hyper competitive these days. Well, thanks for letting me know that, because the last time I got general liability insurance, they were trying to charge me $3,000 a year, and the insurance wasn't that great. And that's when I was doing construction management. So, and that's networking that you're doing. That's exactly, Brother Osama, what we did at the Manosphere Meetup. Again, it was a networking event, and it was young brothers, it was older brothers, and JB Jonathan Bareville. That brother there, as young as he is, he's a genius with these computers. And one thing that I can see shaping up, and if brothers allow it to shape up, we can have our own platform, our own media company, can have a lot of our own businesses, because really that's what it was about. And if anybody thinks it was just about, we talking about women all day, no, it's not what it was about. Wasn't even about talking about red pill, blue pill either. Okay? It was about meeting one another, networking, and making friendships. Yes, you really would have something to look forward to. Grago says she took a Spanish class. Well, that's good. Well, that's another thing that is going to work for you, Grago. If you take a second language, that is definitely going to be an asset. And right now, it's a good chance, if you don't have a job, get a better job. It's a good chance to get some extra education. You don't even need a degree, just obtain a skill. And when you perfect that skill, go ahead and make your own money. Learn how to run a business yourself. Make sure that business is small. You don't need a big conglomerate out there. I was supposed to be spending Christmas with Clue, but Burris has put her back into semi lockdown. It can cost me around £2,500 to quarantine in a government hotel once home. I can't do that. Wow, £2,500. That's almost $3,600 here, I believe. Wow, that's a lot of money. Absolutely. Shout out to Hoop Jargon. JB is a good dude. He's going to be a good asset for this space when it comes to creating a viable alternative to YouTube. Willie Bierman, Brother Bierman says Clearwater Beach is very beautiful. The water is clear and blue. The locals walk around without a care in the world. Well, if that happens, you're definitely going to have some fun. I guess that's why they call it clear water, because it's clear blue water. And it is down in Florida. And like I said, I've been to Florida before, Jacksonville, and I've been to the western side of Florida, to Tampa, St. Pete, and of course around the Tallahassee area. That was great. That was a great part of Florida. Yes, all of the videos were positive, regardless of the imperfection of the video itself. What I wanted to show in a video is what was actually going on. So all the videos that I did were basically unedited. So everything you saw was actually going on. Now, it'll be a little different next time, because there's information that we don't want to get out. But again, the excitement got to us. And of course, we made some mistakes. We had a lot of fun. yeah, and Clue seem to have great synergy. Where is Clue? I mean, Clue is usually in the chat here, and hopefully he'll be in here so I can get him up on the panel. About 10 minutes, I'm going to get the link open because I definitely want to hear what some people got to say. Again, here on the 411 Talk Zone radio show, I'm going to keep everything positive because we did enjoy one another. Yes, that's where the Phillies have their spring training down there in Clearwater, Florida. But again, I welcome you all to the chat. Thank you for joining this stream. And again, what I'm talking about for anybody just joining, I'm talking about the Manosphere Meetup. I'm giving you my recap of the Manosphere Meetup, and I'm just going to tell you this. It was fantastic to me, regardless of the small mistakes. I don't get petty. I just look at the overall objective of what went on. And for some people, it may have exceeded what they expected. For me, I knew the type of brothers that I was dealing with anyway. So the brothers there, we're going to make sure that nothing happens. Oh, yeah. 5 years, longer than any relationship. That's Osama. Shout out to you. Salute No Country for Old Simps. Yeah, that's true. No Country for Old Simps. Yeah, you have a number of those individuals out there. But right here, you don't have any old simps over here. Shout out to you, brother, for stopping by my channel. Again, we're going over the Manosphere Meetup. And Brother Osama, I'm proud of you now, but you get a taste of what we went through. And I'm saying this because once you see what happened overall for the first time, that nostalgia is never going to go away. We're going to be talking about this for a long time. Now, what we really did, because the nostalgia is still there, is now we have set the bar. And I'm hoping that brothers all over YouTube, regardless of where you are politically, what your stance is on dating, start having a number of social events because once you build friendships and you start trusting each other, I believe the beefing will slow down and you have to meet like minded people. Again, black folk, we are not monolithic. Some people think we are. No, we're not. And this is why Brother Theo and Brother Nate decided that like minded people, he didn't say conservative. Okay. Theo said conservative, and I know why he said it, but we want like minded people so we don't have as much discourse. That's the problem. But again, support the channel. Hit the Cash App if you'd like. $ LEJ0102 1965. And please like, share, and subscribe to the 411 Talk Zone radio show right here on YouTube. And Anna says, I'm positive about your experience. I kindly don't appreciate my point of view being dismissed. It's all by Gragu and Osama. That's true. I wish my POV could be understand. My point of view could be understand. Listen, you're always welcome to come up here, and you have your point of view definitely heard. But like I said about that, just let that go and start all over again. Look, we have those days where we get upset because I get upset. I get impatient. But we got to put it behind us. We got to be positive. The last thing that I want anybody to have is stress. Stress is the number one killer. This is why I'm happy that a number of you all are here on my live tonight so we can have a conversation. About 8 minutes, I'll be putting up the link because I want to hear that positivity, and I want individuals to actually hear my experience of the first Manosphere Meetup 2021. Jenny V says, I find it necessary, correction, I find it very interesting how you have a mental image of what somebody looks like just by hearing their voice. The event proved how wrong those images can be. That's true. That's true. That's true. Shout out to brother Roastmaster. Let me call out the cash apps to see if any went through. Shout out to brother Roast Master. Yes. Roastmaster. Osama, thank you for the $15 cash app. Let me see who else. I'm calling out the cash apps. Roastmaster, thank you for the $5 cash app. And Brother Theo, thank you for the $20 cash app. All of the cash apps have gone through. Yes. Thank you for your support. Yes, Roastmaster, cash apps went through. Osama, that's right. Clue is a smart and rational man. I'm 100% sure he noticed that. Yeah, Clue is smart. I met Clue. Clue always comes to the chat as well. I've seen him on Trey's panels, but I was sitting next to Clue. I mean, Clue had the best camera. He had that nice Rode microphone. I talked to him. He's a truck driver. He's very intelligent. My boy Free Zone Lou, welcome to the chat. Glad the event went well. Stay on a positive path and keep building, brother. Hey, brother Free Zone, you got to get down there next time. Now, tentative, it's Houston. We'll know more about it in the next year. But if you wanted to see a bunch of positive brothers, you had to be down there in Atlanta, Georgia. I mean, it was a fun 2 days, and it's something that I'm not going to forget this because I'm still looking at it from this point of view. How in the world was I able to get on a social media platform called YouTube and meet a bunch of professional brothers in person? How did that happen? How did the idea come up? Again, shout out to Minister Jap. Shout out to Brother Nate. Shout out to Bernard Riley. Brother Theo Wolf. Brian Triple X, who's always on Reg the Bad Guys channel. Well, I wish you were there as well. Shout out to Full Circle. Shout out to you, Brother Reg. Hope to see you at the next one as well. But, being here on YouTube, people from all over the country convened in that one place called Atlanta, Georgia. The Peach State. Shout out to you, Prophet of Thought Peace. I wish you were down there. I was looking for you down there, brother. you'd have really put some excitement at the meeting with how you do everything. But I'd like to see you at the next one because we missed you, brother. But shout out to you, brother. Again, hoop jargon. Yes, the SWAC football game. That's the granddaddy of them all. That's just like the Peach Bowl that they have in Georgia. You have two good HBCUs playing. And I know you went to an HBCU, and shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you, brother. Hoop jargon. I mean, I wasn't born to play basketball, but I like to watch the people who could play basketball. I played a little football, did a little swimming and diving. I enjoyed that. Football, the practices were hard, but they were great too. Until I got my elbow broken. Yes. And I said after that, not all of us were made to be athletes. So I tried something else. But again, the Manosphere Meetup was fantastic. And again, if you don't believe me, watch some of the footage that's out there. And Brother Teapot said something very important. Some of the individuals were trying to hate it away. Guess what? It didn't work. They're hating themselves away now because it did work. And you know why it worked? It worked because we had brothers that put their mind and body in action, and the good Lord always helped too. I do believe in a good Lord because man can let you down. The good Lord won't let you down. The good Lord sometimes will lead you astray to make you uncomfortable because the good Lord will tell you that road might not be good for you to go down. You got to be patient when you're dealing with the good Lord. But the good Lord will make it happen for you. Now, I'm not saying I am one that's a holy roller here, but I do believe in the good Lord. That's why I always say in my videos, be blessed for what you have. Don't worry about what you don't have. Too many of us worry about what we don't have. And when you worry about what you don't have, that's when you get stressed out. Everybody isn't going to have the same materials. We worry too much about materials. And what I experienced down there in Atlanta wasn't material at all. It was true brotherhood. And I'm in a fraternity myself. Their brother Hoop Jargon. It's much smaller than the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity. It's called Phi Eta Psi. It's out of Detroit. We have a few branches. Green and gold are our colors. Our fraternity isn't part of the Divine Nine, but we are the 10th largest fraternity, founded at a community college back in 1965. So, with all due respect, I salute anybody who's in a fraternity, a sorority. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to drop I'm going to drop the link. And when I drop the link, I want you all to come up to the panel and just share your experiences here. Just one moment. I am dropping a link right now. Okay. Hold on one moment. All right. Here's the link. You, you all can come up. Anna says, I appreciate you saying I'm always welcome. The truth is that I am not, and I have been kicked out by Osama and Gragu. I know your channel will keep growing, and I truly wish you the best. Well, thank you very much. Uh, well, I'll ask him. Hold on. Grog with Susanna, please forgive us, but let's please keep the conversation and put it all behind us. No, Hannah, you haven't been kicked out. They're allowing you to stay. Let's keep the conversation at being positive. That's all they want. They're doing their jobs as moderators. You're okay. You can always come here. They're just monitoring the channel. And I got my boy Theo Waff. Brother Theo Waff, what's up? You in the building. What's going on, my brother?
I'm doing well. I'm actually watching some of this right now and thinking about it. I'm watching some of the criticism and laughing. In fact, basically, I'm just trying not to even think about it and just keep on going. I'm slowly getting my health back.
Hey,
As
great.
you know, I was utterly exhausted on Saturday night. I couldn't function. I nearly collapsed. So it's kind of to be expected. I thought that was going to happen because of how hard I was working. And so I'm in Brazil right now. I'm pretty happy over here.
Yeah, you look happy. Hey, you know what I learned from you, bro? I learned that having your own business is regardless of what they say, and I'm working, I've been inspired to work on mine so I can make it grow no matter how old you are. I'm 56 years
Mhm.
old and I see what you're doing. And what you and brother Nate and everybody else did down there, it's well above the criticism. And the ones who were criticizing, they couldn't do it themselves. Let's just
No,
be honest.
there's no way they can do it themselves. So there were some pluses that I had on there that I liked, and that was I anticipated how the students will act in the labs. And I had good direction. So basically, I liked how the labs worked. And I'm going to go again. I'm an engineer. I'm a techie guy. So this is how I think technically first. Like, did this work correct? Like, okay, that worked the way that I wanted it to work, and it sets the foundation for me continuing to teach the class, which is good. So I consider that to be an entire success, and I was thrilled with it. I have a situation where I can get 30 or 40 guys above $100,000, $150,000, $200,000 a year. And then I have other guys who I'm mentoring now who are making serious money, and I'm showing them how to up the game. Well, basically, how to improve their skills and market themselves so they can get $250,000 plus. So, in those areas, it was a fantastic success. So, what I'm thinking about right now, so we talk about the future. It was good to meet people.
Oh yeah,
know,
yes, it
yeah,
was.
people were saying that I was acting a certain way when I was there, and I was like, I'm being pushed. I have a lot of work to do anyway, and I'm having to like control and correct a lot of problems that are going on constantly.
Right.
And people wanted to talk with me. I'm like, I can't really connect with you. I mean, I like to, but I need to make sure this event goes correct. I need to make sure this happens. This is a major issue, and I want to talk with you too. I want to make that connection, but oh my goodness, if this fails, we got a real failure. So I was going around doing that all the time, and it went smoothly. So basically, how do I describe this texture? So Eric, you remember Eric?
I remember Eric, yes.
Okay, so to the distractors, there were guys in there who were saying this the money went to white people and things like that. I designed this conference originally with 3 other brothers from the Mix, and the Mix is Kevin Samuel's group. So I had the requirement that all the labor had to go to Black people, and that was actually met. Everything, all the labor, everything, like anybody worked on it, it went to a Black person.
Yeah, you were giving a real world perspective of how it works, which
Yeah.
I got a good idea that, and I thought about you yesterday because, you know, they use AWS here in Indiana, and the AWS was out here. They had
Yeah,
problems with it yesterday.
yeah, that was a good example of like how the cloud works. Actually, what I'll be teaching later on is how to like mitigate those kinds of problems even. So, um, so basically, okay, this is how it's going to be working for next year. Um, the originally way we worked, why it was Atlanta is that not only were there a lot of brothers there I knew who were somewhat red pilled and wanted an opportunity, and I thought I could teach them and get them into better paying jobs, but also it's a transit point for me to travel internationally.
Absolutely.
And so next year there'll be two trips that I do internationally, and so I'm going to be holding two more events. And so we're working on it and seeing like what are the hotel schedules, what are the locations I can go to. And Eric and I have been talking since September actually about where the next one will be, what is good, what kind of venue we need. I learned a lot about hotels from the Westin, um, and I'm well aware of different issues. And so next, Eric knows about them too, and because we had sometimes heated exchanges between each other. But no, he was cool though. I was the one who lost it. So in the next one, we're going to make sure that those issues are not a problem.
But you,
Um,
but
yeah.
Brother Theo, listen. I've actually, um, I had conventions with my fraternity up in Flint, Michigan, and they went haywire. And shout out to Hoop Jargon, he's in the building. Yeah,
Hmm.
we had all yeah, we had all kinds of problems too. You know what I learned
Hmm.
is we work everything out. It, See, the first thing I will say is you strive to do the best you can. It'll never be perfect. You know what I say that I knew there were going to be detractors. I already knew it because they were counting
Hmm.
on this event being about what they think we were going to talk about, and it never happened.
Hmm.
That's and
Yeah.
that's what they're mad at. See, they really have nothing to talk about, so now they're
Yeah.
being petty about it.
I agree. They have nothing to say, and so that's why I'm kind of just like laughing at them. I'm like, you couldn't do this. And even some of the criticism that they have, I'm laughing at. I'm like, I've taught computer courses since 2005. And I've taught them in multiple languages and in multiple countries. I know what I'm doing. I've led people to certifications before. I've led them to
Right.
actually having very successful careers. So I know what I'm doing here. I know why I'm using the tools that I'm using and the purpose. And I'm recognizing the students I'm dealing with mainly. Of course, right this time I'm dealing with only black male students. So I have to have a course and a curriculum designed for them with how they learn. So
Absolutely.
I'm happy with that part. I think I hit that one correctly. So yeah, there'll be two next year.
Okay.
Um, so the first one is going to be a continuation of the AWS course, and of
Okay.
course I'm teaching online. But the
Okay.
next one I'm going to be doing will be only IT. It'll be very nerdy. It'll be in a different kind of hotel. It'll just be like a 12-hour session in a hotel. Um, and it'll be a bunch of guys with their computers out doing like specialized labs. There won't be any content creators or anything, but it'll be to make sure that these guys can beat and have certain skills and then go out and interview correctly. Is basically to get guys over $150,000 a year.
And
And then what? Good.
you did a great job, and Brother Hoop Jargon did a great job. There was a variety of experiences that I saw, and
Mm,
as a brother, I wish I could have spoken, and I would have. I had just gotten in there a little late, and the next time it happens, I'm going to speak, and I'm going to be better prepared, and I have to have my notes and a projector.
mm.
Matter of fact, I got the flash drive where everything that I was supposed to speak about, my notes, they're on that flash drive. I actually left the flash drive at home, and I
Yeah.
have it marked for about a 30-minute speech. and I would have done it. And
Yeah, so those kinds of issues will be resolved because basically, unfortunately, if the way that I went there, if you had access to it, you'd have to have physical access to it,
right.
because the logical didn't work correctly. So, oh well, I'm not gonna. Fine, yeah, I had to walk that one out. So there'll be different ways of thinking about it. So the first thing is that I'm going to be investing in proper cameras, monitors, projector, the whole thing, kabang, so that we don't have various problems that we had last time. And then I'm going to be working with Will. Will's the sound guy. He's the guy who made a lot of things happen. And so I'm going to be making sure that he has the proper support and proper equipment. And so that'll be the first part by April to make sure that is done. And that's a logistical thing. And then I'll have, again, my little meetup. It'll be very much under they're not going to be any advertisement, just going to be my current students. And that's going to be probably June, end of May, June, something like that. And then the next one for the next Manosphere Meetup, which is going to be Houston, we're still trying to figure out which day. And that's, again, I'm talking lots of conversations. The issue here is that I'm going to be in France. So I'll be in France all September and all of October. So
okay.
I have to figure out when I'm going to be returning and when I can actually get to Houston. This is kind of a special issue. Like, okay, how is this really going to work? And that has to be in combination when the hotel actually has available space at a certain price that's decent, and then when I can have vendors come in for food and other things.
Right.
That's all logistics.
Now, do you have any? Let's say, and I'm just playing devil's advocate right now. Let's say if Houston doesn't work, what about Dallas?
Houston will work.
Oh, okay. you look. I know about Big D, so I don't know as much about H Town as you guys do. So you guys,
Houston's fine. That's my city. Houston's fine. Trust me.
Yeah.
On all fronts.
So
better than Atlanta.
I have
It's up there.
I have more than enough hotel options.
Oh yeah.
And then conference room options.
Oh yeah.
And then additional options with Houston. So if I act before March and April and start putting pen to paper, get cash transfers going, then I can get the spaces that I want at the price that I want.
Hey, so Kelly, how you doing? She's in the building.
Fine. Trust.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so that's definitely going to work. That's not going to be a problem.
Now, I haven't been down. Believe it or not, I've been to Big D. I've never been to Houston. Okay, you guys got to tell me how the traffic is, because I'm gonna tell you,
terrible.
Atlanta traffic. well, look, nothing can be worse than Atlanta traffic. I got lost coming out of Atlanta because I couldn't get back onto the road that I normally travel. So I ended up going through a bunch of mountains, getting stuck in Tennessee, had to get somebody to get me out just to get back to I-75. I mean, so now Houston's a bigger city than Atlanta too.
Yeah, I'll say this. So when you come to Houston, if the hotel is going to be closest like downtown, isn't that right, Theo? Like downtown area?
No. It'll be out further, because that's the one thing that I'm not having ever again is paying for parking.
Oh,
like that. No,
you don't do that.
No, that'll never happen again. No.
Yeah, is it a just an area? Because I can kind of suggest where airport. There's two major ones. It's Hobby and it's Bush International.
Okay.
You know, like the general area, Theo.
No, I'm working with Eric. We're plotting this place, that place. Let's say there's something very special we're planning. I'm not going to give it away, but Eric has suggested something that is out of this world. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, this could really happen? He's like, yeah. So I'm like, all right, let's try to get that one done. And then the next one is, let's just go talk shop with the guys. It is how to get someone like, okay, Leon, you need to be talking about civil engineering.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
But then also, it is also getting other topics, other guys in there, but them meeting certain criteria that I have for being a speaker.
Okay.
And the criteria has to be met. I'm very strict about this. And so the criteria basically is that it can't be anything gimmicky. It has to be something that's substantial that somebody can follow. You have to be able to get an Excel sheet out or an explanation. You have to have already done it before, and you have to be able to show people's risk, benefit, and risk. And so, like, for example, if it's going to be real estate, let's say like talking a mortgage, you have to say this is how much interest you will be paying over a certain period of time, so that you understand this is a debt slave mentality.
Right.
All right. So are you willing to do that?
Now you know what you can do for that, because all right, like for me, what I normally do when I have any type of presentation, I have handouts. I usually go to FedEx, Kinko's. Like for me, I'll do a PowerPoint, hand it out. Now, when it comes to any type of, let's say, formulas you have to calculate, I would definitely get, and this is just my idea. I would definitely get a whiteboard, because that's what I always use. Because yes, when you're dealing with like appraising, that has a lot of numbers in it. So you want to see how people have gotten the actual number, and
Correct.
and also some good lighting, because I know with cameras, because brother, I got a camera, and it was in the car. I got a 360 GoPro. Okay, it's a mixture of a 360 and a Hero, and I got to learn how to use it. And I was wondering, does anybody know how to use it? I mean, it's got a good microphone with it.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, with that kind of equipment, what I call like presentation equipment,
Yes.
I'm going to be spending at least $20,000 to get the proper infrastructure, and so lighting will be a part of it. And so I recognize now is that there's going to be different kind of lighting. So there'll be presentation lighting, and then there'll also be professional lighting that needs to be done for other activities. So therefore, I need two different units. I can't just have one. It will not work. I have to have two. And I'm like, okay, so that the proper YouTube videos and things like that can be made. And that's fine. Like, there were different things that were going on that I didn't really recognize that were going to happen. I didn't really think about it, but now I understand. Yeah, I mean, the right resources were there, just weren't enough of them. So from the future, oh yeah, we're going to go ahead and do it.
Hey, I got one of my audience members, Kelly Torrance, up there, and I actually thought of this myself too. She was thinking, would you ever have one up here in Indianapolis? Now, I can tell you, Indianapolis is not a bad city. It's oh, wait a minute, you used to live up here. Hey, it's not that bad, Theo. In the summertime, you wouldn't have it up here in Indianapolis.
No, I'm not going to have it in Indianapolis. No.
They got all kinds of new infrastructure up in Indianapolis. Yeah,
there's only certain cities I will consider it, and I live in Austin, Texas.
Oh, Austin. Yeah, how's Austin? I've never been there.
No, I like it, but I have money, so that the cost it's cost prohibitive to do this kind of a group, because the people are coming there who make under $30,000 a year. So for them to make the trek, this is special. I'm not going to put them in Austin. They can't buy a hamburger with that. So
is that expensive?
Put them in Houston. Like,
let's send them out to Whataburger. I mean, when I lived down in Texas.
Good old Whataburger.
You know Whataburger.
I ain't had that in a minute.
Me either.
Right.
I got the In-N-Out shit out here.
Oh yeah, we had that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So Houston has a rather affordable pricing for a lot of things, for a lot of points. Plus, it's the airport will allow cheap tickets for entry, so that's much better for me. And then also, like Cleveland, other areas, those people can drive down, so it's still at a good area, and people from Atlanta can drive over. So I'm pretty happy with Houston.
It seems right. It seems right there, because even believe it or not, when I lived in Virginia, I drove to Dallas, and that wasn't that bad. Shout out to the Clue. He was in the building. He was also at the Manosphere Meetup. I sat right next to him. Yes.
Yeah. So I loved meeting Hoop. Hoop's a great guy. A lot of inspiration. I've been thinking about things that Hoop said. Think about, okay, Theo, think about this. Think about what you're doing. Think. I start thinking a lot. I have to start thinking about how to change my life. But anyway, we're thinking about, again, the different kind of topics. And what I'm thinking about really is the blue collar jobs and how that would be implemented. But again, it can't be somebody coming there and saying, like, I'm gonna be typical, like, yo, you could be a trucker. You could be a trucker. That'll be great. And that's all they're doing is being a cheerleader for a trucker. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you need
what is something specifics? Like, how would this work? Or let's say something like, let's make a trucking company. Okay, good idea. Do you have the numbers? Do you have the Excel files? Do you have actual business proposals so that something is ready so we can really think about it? That's the kind of thing that I would want. And there's other areas where, plumbers, tradesmen, things like that. I want people to be able to have an environment to be able to talk about that. But I also would like to have an accountant there who would actually talk really about the reality of taxation and how that really works for those kind of industries.
You just said something too. Proposals. I want to. In my PowerPoint, I have a lot of proposals that I've done. Some people don't know how to do correct proposals. I actually did a proposal for renovation of a hotel, stuff like that, and I showed you how I got the numbers. I'll put that in there because what you're looking for is heavy specifics. You're not looking for anybody that's just going to come and just talk.
Correct.
So, and I would have
Correct.
to believe by that if you're gonna get up there speaking, and that is the truth. You need to be able to. I don't want to use the word sell your audience, but you need to be able to explain what you're doing. So, I'm going to use the word layman terms. A fifth grader could understand it.
But not only a fifth grader can understand it, a fifth grader could do actions on it. And it would understand the benefit. So let me give you an example. I had one person wanting to do a real estate presentation, and the person was only talking about how the person was successful. And I'm so successful. I've done all these successes. And I said to the person, I said, okay, let's say there's a guy in there who only makes $30,000 a year.
Yes, sir.
That's it. And the guy is behind on child support. Okay. How would your background or what you're doing help that person? And all the person kept on talking about was success. And I was like, you're stupid. I don't have time for you. I'm not gonna put you up there because all you're doing is showing narcissism. You're just showing how great you are. I don't care.
He's not being realistic. He's not showing you the peaks and valleys. Shout out to brother Nate. He is in the building.
Shout out to Nate.
So it needs to be actionable. That's the whole thing. It has to be something that somebody can sit there and say, okay, this is something I'd like to get into. I understand how I'm going to get into this, how this works. It can't be a gimmick. It can't be like, oh, use your credit card, and then you can leverage that in order to buy a fourplex, and then you can get some money off of that. I'm like, nope, get out of here. I don't need you.
No, not realistic for the average man. Yep.
It's not realistic. It is too much risk. I mean, you see what I have. The only risk that you had, the audience had, was to paying the transportation to attend the conference.
Yeah.
That's it. That was maximum risk. So if you were in Atlanta and you parked, you had to pay $32 for parking. That was it. And that was I was with the hotel over that one. I was like, that's why I told them. I said, no, that's never happening again. Let's make that clear right now. So, I mean, next time in Houston, all you have to do is pay for your gas if you're local. That's the way it should be. I paid for lunch. So you have to be able to go there and be able to talk with other people and make plans and have networking, but also come away with a possibility of having a real path towards a different life or towards a different kind of prosperity or a different kind of skill that you can get into for a reasonable price. And in this case, for my course, the reasonable price, what is it? It's like $85 for all the materials and then 2 hours a week over like 15 to 16 weeks. That's reasonable. I mean, that's a real reasonable price. Other people, let's say that it's a tradesman. They say, okay, it's $250, but I'll help you, and this is what I'll be with there, and I'll lead you through, and I'll get you to the other side, and then you'll be able to do some sort of skill. Okay, great. And that person, whoever's making that presentation, needs to be able to give me that explanation, so that I can stand in front of somebody at a conference and say, this other guy who's making the presentation is reliable. This isn't selling crap. This is something that I could do. Like, this is something that is trustworthy. So that's what I want. I want at least 4 other categories. Okay. And I'm going to be listening to people over the next few months over what they think is good, but it can't just be like, do trucking. Okay. Give me more. Yeah, what about it? Okay, so trucking is very profitable. Okay, fine. So is walking dogs.
Yeah.
I mean, the person who's watching my house right now and taking care of my dogs is making $1,500 a month, pure cash. I mean, what? So should that person come up there and start talking about watching Theo's dogs? No, I mean, that's not realistic, right? I mean, show it to me. Let's really talk about how that it's actually profitable or beneficial to the average guy. Again, we use Obsidian's terms. The average non-select guy who comes there who doesn't make a lot of money. How does it benefit that guy?
And you know, it's called, like, I used to be a teacher before I've been in sales. I've been in sales for the last 7 years. And before that, I was a teacher for 4 years in Texas, obviously. And it's called differentiated instruction. So basically, you have to find ways to meet, you know, the populace on their level, because that's the best way they retain it. So if you, like you're saying, like, you're going to just bloviate about your success, that's cool for you. But we talking about guys who come down with the expectation to have their life change in some capacity.
Right.
And if you're not meet them on their level, you're just up there just, you know, pontificating, you know, just on the strength of this great career that you have. And you leave as a speaker like you did something, but to the audience, you didn't really help them. You know, and I love the example of the, you know, the youngin' that came that was hollering at you, and then you kind of made him go do figure the rest out. But once he's there, you got to still be able to reach to him on his level. And I think that that's important, that you're vetting people in that way, because that's something that flies on the radar a lot with these conventions, man, and presentations. So I think that's a very valuable aspect that you are holding at a high level.
Yeah, so think about that. Thanks for that comment. Those guys who came there, those 19 and 20-year-old who came there, and they had the struggle to come there, right? And I gave them some guidance, but I didn't give them all. They said, you got to do the rest on your own. I was tough with them. But
I heard about that.
I had full confidence they would be able to do it. But I was like, you know, you've got to figure it out. When they got there, I paired them up with someone who knew what he was doing. And I made sure he had guidance. They had to make sure they both had guidance. And then I made sure that they were able to talk with people on a regular basis and get advice. So I didn't just abandon. So they were actually able to walk out of there with more knowledge and more capability. And they weren't looking at me all the time. They were looking at other brothers. And that's what I wanted. I wanted them to look at other brothers and recognize that they could be successful. It's not just me. It's other guys in the group showing success. So in that way, let's say we're talking about real estate. Some guy who's talking up there with real estate, right? I want him to be able to point to other guys in the group who also do real estate and say, hey, let's do a practice proposal. What would it cost to get a fourplex? How does it work? Let's get some Excel out. Let's do so. Let's get some figures out. Let's think about it together, and then let's compare the idea with other people as well. Let's see what kind of ideas we can get. What's best. And in this case, people become empowered. They understand risk analysis. They get critiques, and they're able to move forward. That's the kind of thing I want. And the focus isn't just on the presenter. The focus is on the success and the thinking of the group as a whole.
And
that works.
You know what else you're doing too? You're also letting individuals know, let's say if they're starting up a business and you're using that approach, you're letting them know if their concept is going to work or not. If it doesn't work,
correct,
they're going to have to go back, and I hate using the word tweak. They're going to have to go back and change some information, because you do have to, because even myself, when I do my speeches, I want to make sure I'm delivering the right information so it makes sense. And if I were to give you my PowerPoint, Theo,
Mhm.
you would be able to explain, even if you hadn't taken structural analysis, you would be
Mhm.
able to define what structural analysis is from
Right.
viewing my PowerPoint.
Right. Yeah.
And you can do it
Yeah.
while I'm not even there. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the kind of thing I'd want. And then you understand it. So you
Yes.
understand the idea of reaching somebody at their level. Because when I was in grad school, the thing they drove into us all the time from the first week is education is current position plus one. And if you don't identify current location, you'll never get plus one. It doesn't work. So what happens is sometimes you might be able to get a plus two because a student is able to identify where his current location is and is able to identify how to do the jump himself. But most people can't do it. And if you have current location plus three, so if you're teaching 3 away from current location, forget it. You're never going to make it. So I mean, look at what you do. Let's say that you're teaching about engineering, and then you were also like, hey, here's 2 books you can get on Amazon. I don't get you any profit from it, but from here you can get a better idea of what engineering is. It's cheap. Kindle, you can get it right now.
Yes,
It's like $20 altogether, right? And then you were able to show like some practical examples or some practical labs about why it's important, why it's beneficial to society, and why they should have done it in university, but why it's good for them now. And then they're talking with each other, and if you've got another engineer in there who can add, dude, man, your seminar is gonna be hot. People are gonna be going in there. Yeah, they're gonna love it. So I know you can pull that off. I got to make sure that I get that kind of organization with people in the group so that they can walk out of there engaged, and then hopefully, because they're like I told you before, there are guys who aren't going to give a damn about IT, and I respect that. So that maybe they're in a trade, maybe they're doing real estate, maybe they're doing something else, maybe they're walking my dogs. I don't know. Okay, but they need to be able to go to multiple of these meetings so they can get different ideas and then do other collaborations and be able to talk with people. And then next point, so this is a stickler that I had. If there is food being served, it has to be there for a longer period of time and more available. So if those guys want to sit back and drink, like have Sprite and lemonade for a longer period of time, fine. It's not going to be this expensive food only offered for 1 hour. And I'm sitting back, I'm like,
right.
I work in food service, and I know what you guys did. You guys got a bag taken home. That's
I used
exactly
to work
what we did.
myself, and I know good food. I know the matter of fact, I just did a safety operations my own. It's on PowerPoint, a safety operations resource manual on food, how it should be cooked and how it should be sitting out there on that food table. Brother Nate, I got the link is already out. Come on up here. It's already out. Like to hear your point of view because you were one of the brothers who was the coordinator of this event. I mean, like I said, I was telling my audience here, Brother Theo, that the nostalgia is, even though I'm back here in Indiana, and it seemed like that whole weekend went great. That nostalgia is still there, and I'm gonna tell you why it's still there. Because when I went down there, and before I left, and I think you gave me a call. I sent a video out to let you know I was coming down. It was that Thursday night. I did a short video.
Yeah,
and
I saw it. I remember that.
Right, and because I was already inspired, and the way you conducted it with like-minded people. I know some people had a hard time with that, the detractors. When you said no women, well, had anything else happened, it would have been conflict, and guess what? We would have been looking like what we were expected to look like from the detractors. They would have had everything to talk
about. Field day.
Oh
yeah. So you had, I mean, believe me. Okay, so I had security with the hotel. They knew what my concerns were. They're like,
Oh,
"Oh
I know
yeah,
you had
there's
security. I told Tommy Jean you had some security. Yeah,
yeah." I
you
definitely
did.
had security. So they had their eyes open. They knew what to do. You couldn't have women there because they were going to be a total distraction, and I understood that from years ago in grad school in 2012. The second time I went to grad school, I knew there could not be a woman at this kind of event. And there, for the most part, during the core events, any kind of event that I organize, there will never be a woman there. Now, there might be a separate event in the same hotel, some other place where the women are doing something, and then we might say like at a certain point after work has been done, then
Yes.
we can meet up. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But if they're in the main part, no, not at all. Actually, I was sitting back there thinking for a while. I was like, okay, guys don't know this, but some of the presenters brought their partners with them, their women with them. And I was sitting there, I was like, okay, so if he brings his woman with him to the meeting, I can't say no because I'm polite, but it's a total distraction to the group. So what do I do? Because I wasn't expecting there to be even that. So I was working through that in my head, and fortunately, they never arrived. I was like, "Thank you," because I didn't want to have to think about that.
Now,
Yeah.
it's funny. Brother Clue just put it out, and I've actually heard it myself. And you were on this show. Obsidian says, now, he was one of the speakers, and I respect him, but he says he wouldn't mind having women there. I'm
I
like,
know.
we know he said it.
Yeah, he said it. He said it to me directly, also. Yeah, I know.
And he was on there with Nate, and I'm like, no.
He's correct for the optics on YouTube.
Oh yeah, the optics.
Regarding
Yeah.
regarding
That's
that.
the problem,
However,
the optics.
the problem is that it's an entire distraction with men actually getting the job done.
Yes.
So if they are there, they have to be in a controlled environment, because once there, especially that many men there, once the women come in, their attention will automatically go towards the woman, and they'll become competitive, and then they'll forget about what they're actually doing.
Oh, absolutely.
And so that cannot be tolerated. So again, I'm gonna try to figure it out, because Obsidian is correct, and I respect Obsidian. I'm trying to figure out. I'm going to try to figure out how it's actually going to work, and then actually getting the women to actually appear, because I mean, a lot of them would like, okay, there's a group of guys, I'm going to go in there, and then it becomes more of a, what can I say, more of a narcissistic event by the women. Oh, I'm number one, look at me, and that's not going to happen. If a woman does something like that, I'll have her out. That's it. I'll have security. Bye. That's it. And then people will be talking about this. I don't want that. So I want them talking about business.
I think, no, I just believe the way we had it. Now, after the event has taken place, that's one thing. But during the event, because even giving my speech, I don't want them there when I'm giving my, because I'm talking serious science here. Heck, you think they're going to know anything about some structural analysis? I'm talking about indeterminate, determinate structures. They might be there talking or on their phones or something. You know?
Yeah, if you go with hardcore in the STEM that we need to go into.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to be hardcore in it.
And then we go on these trades, and we actually talk some real shop about them. We can't have women around, because it'll be a distraction. No. Yeah. They're not going to come up there and say, okay, this is how you lay bricks. This is the benefit of laying bricks every Saturday. This is why you need to have the trade. Or this is the benefit of actually knowing how to fix BMWs. And this is something you can do on Saturday and Sunday as a side job, and you can make this amount of money, and that's what you need to do. That'd be great. I mean, I think that would really help. I would like to know that.
Yeah,
right?
and I got Hoop Jargon. He has this fraternity conferences. They don't allow any women in their conference. Yeah. And shout out to Osama. He's in the building. He's on the panel. What's going on, bro?
Hey, what's going on? I always got to ask, because I got this phone issue with the headphones and things of that nature. Can you guys hear me fine?
Oh, I can hear you, Lima Charlie, brother. Can you hear him, Theo?
Oh. Yep, I can hear him.
Okay, hey, man, what's going on, Leon? It's man.
Hey, what's
going on? I feel like it says 25 in the chat. I think there's a lot more, but I'm going to tell you, man.
They could be tweaking. With
It's and for my brother Nate, it's not just your channel, Nate. It's every Red Pill channel.
It's every channel, Nate.
To be honest, I don't even think it's ever. I don't think it's. I think YouTube throttles the numbers for everybody's channel because they want to get more than their cut. You know, they're running a monopoly, but they're also giving people an opportunity to have a platform. So you gotta just like anything in life, you gotta give and take. You gotta give and take.
They will not be using us on their. We won't be on their platform forever. That's for sure.
You got it, man. You got it, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, once again, hey Theo, you weren't in the. Were you in Nate's chat last night? I mean, did you come on the panel last night, Theo?
No, I didn't go on the panel. I mean, it was late. I mean, I'm 2 hours ahead in Brazil. I need to go to sleep.
Got you. Hey, but man, first off, brother, I want to say congratulations for putting together a positive event and orchestrating it. And one of the things I liked, Brother Leo, from what I just saw from one of the small clips that Brother Leon put on, I saw you displaying a lot of leadership. And I like to see that because I've been a staunch proponent in more and more Black men. We got to be able to follow a certain chain of command. That's one of the biggest Achilles heels with Black men. This isn't just African American men. Speaking as a first generation African, unfortunately, a lot of brothers, we just have a tough time adhering to that chain of command. And I saw that displayed in full. I saw it displayed as much as I could have saw. So I want to say, man, salute to you. Seems like everything went as good as can be expected. And I don't know if you saw, but one of the reasons I showed a little bit more emotion than I usually do on yesterday's panel. And some of it came, and I'm not trying to distract from what I'm saying, but from all the detractors about the Black Manosphere, there was more support than anything else. But some of the negative rhetoric that came from the detractors, one of the things that really bothered me about it was to put on an event like that. I worked in hospital before I had my lawn care business. I worked in hospitality for 20 years. I was a waiter. I was a bartender. I was a banquet captain. I worked, I understand the minute details going into a function like that. And it is so many details that had to be all in a synergistic fashion. Am I correct in saying, Brother Leon? And what bothers me is it's just unfortunately Black people, we don't look at the long game. We don't look at delayed gratification. Like, let me give you an example. I live in PG County. It's and the area I live in, it's a lot of Latinos, but it's still predominantly Black. There's a car wash I go to. Nice car wash. It has about I want to say it's not. It has one of the ones you drive through. Then it has 6 bays. It's like where you wash your own car. Open 24 hours. It's awesome. They got the older Motown music playing from XM radio. It's super clean. It's a very inviting environment. So I was talking to the owner one day. He's an older white guy, super cool guy. I like him a lot. He actually still works a full-time job. He's a maintenance mechanic for the post office. And we were just talking. He saw me in there with my lawn care equipment. We started talking about just different things. And he was telling me how many years it took him to get that car wash. He said it took him 20 years of saving money. And I looked at the space. The space overall is about a half acre. It's on off a busy road. And he said overall it cost about $700,000 just off the break. And that's not even including all the recurring maintenance costs. $700,000. What he told me is, he says, Usama, I can't tell you how many times in March, April, May, when people get their tax return money, and the clientele there is predominantly Black. They say, I don't know the guy's name. We'll just say his name is James. Hey, James, right. I just got my tax return money. You think I get a car wash like this? and he just says sometimes these people, are you kidding me? You think you're going to buy a whole car wash on a busy street with all this infrastructure on a half-acre lot with your tax return money? I mean, are you kidding me? But I got
a comment up there by and I've seen him before, Sir Ism, and I think Brother Theo responded to it. No, we want like-minded men. That's why we had it, so it'd be less confrontation. Now, if you're like-minded with skills, if you're like-minded with professions, that's one thing. But politics, how often did we talk about politics, Theo? Rarely did we talk about politics.
No, not really.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, it just depends.
It doesn't have any real place there. I mean, there are some things, but
Right.
some things that are not politics, law changing, yes, but not politics. And so
Right.
if there's anybody who would get there who would start talking hardcore about politics, something like this, they would be talking to me. I'd be like, "How did you get up there? Because you were not supposed to be doing that."
Right.
If they wanted to talk about something which is impacting men's lives that we are all concerned about, okay, go ahead, talk about all you want.
Right, but we don't want any dissertations. Let me give my cash apps right quick. Shout out to brother Little Big Nate for his $20 cash app. Peace, brother. I got a few more cash apps to look at here. It's tough doing this. I understand see how brother Nate does it, but again, shout out again to you, Theo, for another $20 cash app. I appreciate it. Oh, I already replied to yours. Thank you. That was my fault. And last, shout out to Roadmaster for his $5 cash app. And I appreciate it. But yeah, but that's what I want to know. He came up there and we said like-minded people, and that's the question. Because me, I don't like any type of conflict at what we're trying to do.
No, that's not going to happen. No, that's not going to happen at all. But Osama, as you were discussing, this guy trying to buy a half-acre car wash with his tax return. I mean, this is kind of good for comedy material, honestly.
Right. It was just, I was using that more or less, brother Theo, as an analogy to, unfortunately, a lot of time black folks, man, we want to stay, we want to wait at the finish line. We don't understand all the minute details that go into building things. Things take blood, sweat, tears, time, patience, money. And also too, with that being said, a lot of times we don't understand, in addition to not understanding delayed gratification, things take time, and we a lot of brothers have this Peter Pan syndrome where they want to be young forever, and you have to age gracefully and accept the fact that you're aging and all the positive ramifications that come with that aging process. You get a lot more knowledge. Like I've said over and over again, the average man in the manosphere, whether it's the black manosphere, the mainstream white manosphere, the average is Gen X and above. I was listening to Rule Zero with Aaron Clary and Ryan Stone and some other guys in the mainstream manosphere, and the youngest guy on the panel was 43. So these things take time, and you get a lot more knowledge with time. And unfortunately, a lot of brothers just don't really understand that. So just to have some of that emotional rhetoric and have an adverse reaction towards brothers doing something positive, it really, I almost lost it because it was just totally unpronounced and uncalled for. But and I think a lot of that just back to say is what me and Tice were talking about. We had a great thing here on the brothers on the Little Big Nate channel, the Leon's channel, and a couple other select channels. A lot of these other brothers, and even some of the bigger names, I'm going to be honest, they're not really in accord of the synergy and the unification that we have over here and trying to work with each other. So, what are your thoughts on that, brother Theo?
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that one. They're not going to be working together. They're on the synergy because one way or another, they're trying to hustle each other and they're trying to hustle an audience. And so
a lot of them argue with one another and argue over nothing, and they're more emotional. We were in business, and I can't have that, man. You got to be on some grown man shit here, man.
Yeah, they're gynocentric in nature. I have no desire to communicate with them.
Yes.
They're blue pill talking around in man space. I look at you and I'm like, no, you're still in the Matrix, man. You don't know what you're doing. And so, okay, this is why we do screening. This is why it's a private event. and I make sure that there is proper screening. There's just no way to get people to get through it. And to women who think they're going to get through, try.
You had that secured tight. I saw
I know.
the individuals out there. I'm like,
we could definitely see if you're coming. We'll know it, and you do not want to engage.
I heard, and I met him that Brother Truth ran into somebody there. The tall, light skinned guy who's always on Mr. Fantastic. I wasn't there, but Brother Truth was there. Yes, indeed. And again, shout out to Brother Nate. There's not so much arguing on Nate's channel. We don't have it here. And even on my channel, our channel, I can't deal with that. We want individuals to come here. We are actually building something.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's the whole thing. We're actually building.
Okay, and Leon, if you don't mind, I'm not going to play devil's advocate, but I want a clear and concise answer so people can really know what Theo's vision is. Because to be honest, I don't even know I know there's a long-term vision, but okay, so Theo, some of your detractors have said, and I want everything to be clear and in the open. What is Theo doing spending $30,000? What is Theo? Why is he going on all these platforms? What? So at the end of he's going here, he's going there, he's trying to do this, this is what your detractors are saying. So me as being one of your supporters, now Theo, I'm going to give you an example. Okay, for instance, we'll just say I don't know the exact number you make. We'll say 500,000. I mean, it's just an analogy. This year I'll probably make about, I don't know the exact number, somewhere in the ballpark at $80,000. So roughly speaking, you make about 6 times more money. You invested $30,000 in an event, correct? So it would have been the equivalent of me investing, I guess, about $4,500, which I can't afford. So now, Theo, I saw your comic book with the Division 6, and I got to tell you, brother, the minute details, I think that thing is going to be huge. I really do. Mm-hmm. I see you going on, brother, International Passports channel. And listen, if you guys have not checked out Theo on International Passport channel, the way he describes the international travel game in such a vivid, descriptive terminology, you almost think you're there. I mean, the brother was talking about some of the laws and the lifestyle in Japan. He does an amazing job, even almost better than when he talks about tech and things of that nature. So salute that. With that being said, Theo, you're investing a lot of time. You're investing a lot of money.
Hold on. I never said that I did an investment here.
Okay,
investments require contracts and rate of return. So with Varner, with Michael Varner, I have an actual contract, a legal contract with him.
Okay.
So yeah, there's actually if I want to execute the money and get back from him, I can.
Got you.
But I never stated investment. Those are other people who are talking.
Okay.
I know what I'm doing, and I'm going to continue doing it. Other people know what I'm doing. Let's just say that. They're definitely aware.
So
I'll use Kevin Samuel's words. It's chess, not checkers.
Got you. Okay. So right now you're just to kind of put everything into some kind of a summation. You're playing chess, not checkers. And a lot of the things you're doing, what do you just say? You're putting in a foundation. You have a long-term. Now, you tell me if I'm wrong. Brother Theo is putting some things into place from a foundational perspective for a long-term gain that he will benefit from financially. Would you say there's some truth to that statement?
How would that happen?
You tell me. Because
no. You just went down a red roll. Because that just actually talks about payment towards me. And that's not my perspective at all.
Okay. Here's what
I stated specifically at the beginning of the conference, and every one of my emails out, I make no money from this.
Gotcha.
And I'm not going to make any money from this.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I
no, Theo. I think we're having a little bit of a misunderstanding here. What I'm saying is you're investing a lot of your personal time, This is aside from just the Black Manosphere Meetup. You've been putting in major work in this space.
Mm-hmm.
And you say you're playing chess, not checkers. So I kind of have a feeling what your long-term goal is. And is that something you want to talk about right now or not quite yet? And I'll leave it at that.
No, it doesn't really. To be honest, I'm just trying to think. If we really want to go hardcore, I'm playing Go. I'm not even playing chess. I'm playing Go. Which is Go is I'm playing Mahjong.
Okay.
That's a very popular game in Japan, Korea, and China. And you have to think very much like 3D and time and how things really move. So I do have. There is something that I am trying to achieve, but what I'm trying to achieve is in a very certain time period. It won't be going on forever. There's no way. So there are some things that I'm there, but I remember what is my nature. So where am I right now? Right, I'm in Brazil. Next year, I'm scheduled to be out of the country for at least 4 months. Right, and the next year after that, I'm probably going to be out of the country for another 4 months. So if I'm doing major international activities, but you're focusing on domestic, you're kind of looking in the wrong place.
I see. And Zil, me asking this, it's not about me per se. It's just to answer, give some kind of answer to a lot of the quote unquote naysayers. Does that make sense to you?
Those guys are saying things, and I'm like, you don't even know how to play checkers. Those are guys who are talking, who really don't have cash flow, who don't understand how to think. And something that I was talking about in the conference for a little bit was your mind changes about cash flow and value once you hit about $300,000 a year. Okay. After that, you have a totally different perspective. I talked about that perspective. So that's something I only talk about in the seminar. And so I very much have that perspective, and I'm not, you get that retirement fund, you know that your retirement's gonna be set. You have the house, you've already paid for it. You've paid for the car. You can get something else out. You can travel internationally like I do, and you've been doing this successfully for a number of years. Your way of thinking was going to change, and so you're not going to be thinking about, oh, I have this little money, and then how do I get a certain amount of return? No, that's not the way it works. I'm thinking in a very different manner. So I'm not worried about it. I know my process works. I've seen it work for years. And I look forward to seeing it process in the future.
Got you. I get it, man. And Theo, thanks for answering that, brother. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I think this is
those
one
guys.
For you. I think this is
okay,
one for you, Theo, from Kelly. How does that work? Not to mention, I bought those shoes just for that. I'm appearing at all events early, shaking my damn head. That's what SMDH stands for.
Okay.
That could be a little sarcasm in there.
You'll get to know who I am. That's all. Yeah, you'll learn real quick. You'll learn very quickly. Like, damn, Theo's not playing around. Like, I really see what Theo is. Yeah. All right, go ahead. I do. Anyway, continue. I wrote some comments in there. I'll have my fun with her. I'll say this to you, Kelly. I'm in another country right now, and I don't even think about people like you. You're barely even a memory. You have no position in my life. And when I'm back in the States doing this, you'll have no position around my conference. And if you think so, you're delusional. There. I don't see your kind around here where I am. You're not allowed. You can't afford it.
Soul Shader says the cash flow millionaire versus a net worth millionaire. Two different ways of thinking, completely different lifestyles.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you have to think about life in a rather different way when you get to a certain point. And that's what I think of. That's what I think about. I really think about Brazil. I really think about value. That's the whole thing. Oh, she's in Brazil. Okay,
Uh,
what? Well, there's a river across the street from me right now. Are you underneath the bridge? Because there's a bridge too. So I'm gonna go look underneath there to see if you've got internet connection. You're probably right there. But yeah, you think about value, and you're thinking about entirely different ways. And so, if you're thinking about applying to a job and then getting some sort of return, that's struggle, man. That's struggle. I don't do struggle. No, man. No, man. I do value. I do. What can I say? Affluent lifestyle, things like that. That's how it works. I think about how to build someone, and then build that person's value. Kind of like when I'm working with Little Big Nate, I see his value. Definitely, it's something that he's got something to say, so I work with him because I want to build value in him. So if I'm working with other people in a certain way, there's a reason and a purpose for it, and it's not to get me cash flow. There's no secret cash flow to me at all. I've heard people talk about this kind of stuff, and I'm like, or that I'm working with white people in a certain way. I'm like, huh, really? Where'd you see them? Because they weren't there. My requirement was black men and black men only. I'm quite open about it. If you think it's any other way, it's not going to happen.
yeah, because talking investment, hey, you made it happen for all of us. You and Brother Nate made it happen for all of us. And like I said, Brother Theo, if you need any of my help, like I said, I wish I could have done more for you this time. Because I would have been ready in November, but I realized we had to shift it back to December. But at the end of the day, I still, regardless of what happened, it went better than any fraternity event that I had. Because once I left my fraternity conventions, and I haven't been to my fraternity convention since 2013. Now we're almost looking at a decade. I would leave Flint, Michigan, get on I-75 and hit 80, 90, back to 80 and go back to Pennsylvania when I lived there. And the nostalgia's gone because we were expecting 300 people and only 25 showed up. So it became a conclave. And we were in a room the size of you've been to a firehouse, the fire hall. That's what,
Yeah,
tables
of
up.
course.
That's what it was. And
in the Midwest, I've done that too. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
The Midwest.
Yeah.
You said that was for your fraternity convention, Brother Leon?
Yeah, I mean, it was supposed to be a convention, but it ended up being a conclave because,
Okay.
well, what happened, Brother Osama? Nobody from the West Coast came because we've got fraternity brothers all over the country. And,
Okay.
and
Hey, if you don't want to ask it, are you an IOTA?
I'm not an IOTA. I try to get in the IOTAs. I'm in a smaller fraternity. It started at a community college called Mott Community College in Flint, Michigan. It's the only fraternity that started at a community college back in 1965. So they came after the IOTAs. It's the 10th largest fraternity. It's known as the Phi Eta Psi fraternity. Our colors are green and gold, and most of the brothers you see are out of the Detroit area, Indiana area. It's this whole
Really?
bunch.
Phi Eta Psi. I never. I mean, I didn't go to college, but I never. Living in the DC area, a lot of people college attainment, but I never actually heard of that fraternity.
Well, that's because it's not part of what we call a Divine Nine. A Divine Nine features the Kappas, the Alphas, the Zetas, the Kappas, the Alphas, the Sigmas, the Iota Phi Thetas, and of course the Omegas. And then you got the AKAs, the Zetas, the Sigma Gamma Rhos, and the Zeta Phi Betas. That's why they call it the Divine Nine. They're under the Pan-Hellenic Council, and that was created in Howard University. We're not under the Divine Nine. In fact, it used to be the Elite Eight until 1997 when the IOTAs got in there. We tried to get in there. It would have been, I don't know what it would have been, but they wouldn't allow our fraternity in there. And believe it or not, let me tell you something about fraternities, first of all. There are more fraternities out there than the five. That there are a lot of black fraternities out there, and I know them. It's just that they haven't been introduced about the I mean, I wish we were in the Pan Hellenic Council. And shout out to brother Clue. You know, that's it. Um, all jokes aside, I support the Manosphere Meetup and events. My prayers with you all. Keep it moving, Mr. Theo, Mr. Leon. I salute your brotherhood of excellence. And my book, love the shirt, Theo. Lots of love. Well, thank you very much, Kelly. I appreciate that. You know who's coming on the panel. I got to drop the link. Brother Nate.
Hey, brother, what was I going to say? Oh, so Leon, you said there's a lot of. I did not know. You know, I thought it was just the 5 fraternities, the 4 sorority. I didn't know there was other satellite.
Yeah.
You could kind of categorize them as smaller fraternities and sororities that are not under that. You said the Pan. How do you say it? The Pan what?
The Pan Hellenic Council.
Pan Hellenic Council. Got you.
Yes. I just dropped the link, brother Nate. Come on up. Yeah, and a lot of people didn't know that. I didn't even know that, and I did a lot of research because it cost a lot of money to get into the other 4, and it was, you know, you have to have insurance and everything. And I was going to go grad chapter, but yeah, you know, it's just, you know, with fraternities, not as many. You still got sisters going into the sororities, but fraternities aren't really getting a lot of men because they're not going to college like they used to. Oh, we got brother Nate in the building. What's going on, brother Nate? Can you hear me?
What's up?
Hey, what's up, brother?
Hey, what's up, gentlemen? How y'all doing this evening?
What's going on, brother? How you feeling, man?
I'm doing good, man. Shout out brother Theo 411. What's up, gentlemen?
What's going on, bro? What is going on? And boy, brother Nate, thank you for because I never saw that guy, but I heard him Sirism in there, and he was asking him what kind of, you know, different brothers. Well, he was exactly why we wanted like-minded brothers up there, and you guys checked him. And
I ain't got no problem with ism. You know,
ism is cool, but we don't want no leftists in here if they're going to be confrontational. That's not what we're looking for.
I mean, what they're not going to acknowledge is just like I'm not even calling Sirism a leftist.
No, I'm not. He said he was.
Yeah, he said he was. You know, that's what he called himself. I mean,
you know,
you got to consider every time there's some conflagration on a panel, it's usually a guy from the left, you know, cussing, yelling, getting kicked off. It's almost. I mean, from the time I came up on panels, I said, look, man, it's so problematic trying to do something with these guys. Before there was a Manosphere Meetup or a IT anything, I said, dude, you can't work with these guys. They love blowing up stuff. They just get in their feelings. They're trying to make an issue of the fact I've said slit niggas' throats. They're trying to make an issue of that. But what they won't acknowledge is I said that after a year of being insulted by guys. I said that after a year of insults in the comment section with me not really responding. I didn't have a channel, so I couldn't respond.
Right.
You know, now you're trying to make an issue of my response after a year of being disrespected and insulted by guys. Come on, man. This is why you just got to separate. You know, we got to just, you know, I'll be honest with you. You know, of course, gentlemen can talk about whatever they'd like to talk about, man. I don't plan on talking much about the Manosphere Meetup 2021 anymore, man. I did my victory lap. You know, it was a huge success. There are huge opportunities coming with this one that we do in 2022. That's what I want to focus on. It's going to take a lot of maneuvering to get somebody like an O'Shea who said he wants to be a part of it, and possibly a gentleman by the name of Angry Man who said who's communicated with me certain things, and it's gonna, you know, we're gonna have to move some things and really be strategic, getting those two men not necessarily on the same stage at the same time, but part of the same event. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm focused on trying to do. You know, fussing with a bunch of lady boys It's just not something I need to be wasting my time doing. You know,
Well,
these niggas are what they are,
Brother
and
Nate,
you just
dog,
need to let them bitch.
I'm
That's
just
all.
proud of what you and Brother Theo did. And yeah, I mean, that presidential suite,
Oh man, that was beautiful.
1,300 bills, man. That
yeah, that
per night.
Per night. We're talking about 1,300. Not what I paid for my hotel. I paid triple digits. You talking about 4 digits.
And that was before tax, and the tax rate is 19.6.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you,
but I ain't never been to the top floor of a hotel like that. I've said that. I'm not going to bullshit you and act like I'm accustomed to those amenities in a room. I'm not.
Hey, did you all get any food up there, Brother Nate? I should have asked, man. Did you get any filet mignon up there?
No. I wasn't up there long enough to to get any food, and didn't have a chance to peek in the fridge either. But nah, man, it was. I mean, what a beautiful layout that room was. Again, that wasn't my room, of course, and I'm cool with that. But everyone was that.
Whose room was that? Was that?
That was Obsidian's room.
That was
Obsidian's room.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that was. I gave him that room for various reasons, but out of respect, because I wouldn't have my cash flow that I had without people like him going out there and taking arrows for years and actually building up the Black Manosphere. So I learned things from the Black Manosphere, applied them. I've got this huge cash flow. I'm just like, this is pennies for me compared to where I was before. Yeah, I'll do it. It's not an issue.
Yeah, it's an acknowledgement of what the man's done,
right?
And nobody should have anything to say about it. To be honest with you, it's Theo's money, does whatever he chooses to do. Period.
Well, absolutely. And that's why I had to, right after you, Brother Nate, you did yours. I had to put my spiel on it, how proud I am to be part of that Manosphere. Yeah, I was there. I was in fumes, Brother Nate, but I told you I was coming down. That's why I know when I called you, I was pulling in. You were on stage because I was right. Let me tell you, it was hard getting downtown to that Buckhead with all that traffic.
I can imagine, man.
And parking. I was already down there. I went around the hotel, and I finally found it, went in there, and it was just great. See, the nostalgia for me isn't quite gone because it's so surreal. Because remember something, I saw you guys on just the YouTube, but man, seeing you guys in person, I'm like, wow.
Oh, it means
shaking
the world.
hands, hugging. I mean, brotherhood. So it is. The only person that I met off of YouTube, I met 2 people off of YouTube prior to this, and that was, he's not on a space tonight. That's Matt. That he'll be up here next week. Didn't bring him up here because we were all doing Manosphere stuff, and I met another guy. He doesn't talk with us anymore, but it was great meeting the brothers, and I look forward to the next one. And if you guys need my help.
So we'll definitely use your help. There's definite things that I learned about the behavior of the group, the people who are there. So there'll be a different kind of organization next time it happens, and I'll definitely be utilizing guys who want to be used, who want to volunteer, and I'll be using them in order to effect various policies and other aspects of the event that really needs to be done. So again, I'm thinking about these points. I'm pondering in my head, writing them out, going slow. Again, I'm here in Brazil. This Saturday, I'll be going to the beach. I'm just going to sit there, write things out slowly, think about how it's supposed to be, and just be honest. That's it.
By the way, what time is it down in Brazil? Is it
right now? It's 10:42 p.m.
Oh, so you're like 2 hours ahead of. We're on Eastern time here, so it's 8. Wow.
Yep.
10:42.
Yeah, 10:42. That's my phone. Yep.
Wow.
10:42. Yeah, this is like I got to go sleep pretty soon because I got to conk out. I got other reports to send out and stuff like that. I just wanted to come in here and talk about a few points. So again, I am thinking very much about the next one, the structure. But I'm writing out hard points. These are small. It's like Osama said. These are very small points, very specific points, and how do I want? Again, it can't just be this next one. It has to be long term.
Right.
So what points can I put in now that can be used for Manosphere Meetup number 3, number 4, so that the experience goes well? And I want this to be more or less self-sufficient later on, year 5 and year 6. But that's just because, like later on, I'm not going to be involved. There will be a time in which I won't be there. And that's because I'm going to have other things I'm going to be doing. I've put in enough time and effort into the group. I have trained up enough men. And there's going to be a point in which this is self-sustaining. Doesn't mean that it's money in my pocket. It means that I'll be out. I mean, I'll be hearing about it later on in the Manosphere, and I'll be on a beach someplace. Maybe I'll be married. I'll be making kids. I'll be doing something else. But that's the way it has to be. It can't just be me. I can do this now, but if it's not self-sustaining later on, and the guys don't organize with this and do financials, then it's it's not real. But it needs this amount of money for a certain amount of time, and it needs this kind of organization. So for the meantime, sure, I can do this. This is my impact that I'm giving. I'm working with Little Big Nate to actually make this work. There's a lot of goals we have for the future, and I think that's good. Let's do it.
Yeah. It's just great that a bunch of brothers, and when I was up there, Brother Theo, taking some snapshots, they actually took to you. See, I always look at it too. You knew what you were talking about. I'm talking about during the IT. You were dressed, you spoke well, and you meant business. And,
Yeah.
like even brother Nate. I mean, even when he got up there on the mic, regardless of what people had to say, he meant business, and that's when you mean business and you show your work, people, real mature people respond to it. And that's why, and like I said, Brother Nate, I'm going to do some speaking next time. And Brother Theo, I will have my information ready to go because I know what you all expect. And if you don't have coordination during any event, it just doesn't work. That's why it worked. And
I'm aware of that. So one of the things that I will be bringing next time when I do this is I will be bringing a printer. Yes,
printer.
Yes, I have a spare laser. I will be bringing a spare laser printer over to this because there's various reasons why we need to do this. For example, if you in your class, if you have pamphlets or you need something that they need to be looking at in a piece of paper to be following along, that's great. That's actually really great, and I agree with that. And that's something that I was trying to do as well.
Like the 21 convention? I know Soul Shader says a 21 convention financial format for the Black Manosphere makes it sustainable.
I'm not thinking about other ones, and then usually that involves somebody making money from it, and that's not my goal.
I know Jap went to what was the 21 convention? I've heard about it. I know Alan Roger Curry, and I know Jap went. I think they did. That was in Vegas. I heard about it, but I really know nothing about it. I heard about it.
I hope that it's a successful convention in the Manosphere, and I hope they got their points across.
I can tell you, we had about triple to quadruple the men. And that's no shade on those gentlemen. Salute to them. They've been doing this for 15 years. And there's also a great deal of cost involved to those who participate in the convention. They actually pay for it. So you have to take that into consideration. I don't want to be unfair. But the fact of the matter is we did have significantly more men at our event, and being fair, we can say that also.
If that is what happened, I can only say, okay. And I'm not in a competition, of course.
Sure.
Yeah, it's more about changing men's lives. And if men's lives are changed afterwards and I'm able to work with them long term, and hopefully in the next Manosphere meetup, other people will be able to work with these men long term on different topics. And if something else happens from this where they get better skills, they get increase in pay, they have more security, they're able to have a better sense of life and a better standard of living, great. That's the focus. If they're able to go around and say, hey, I learned something and this is good, this is exactly what I want to have. It's not about me or a presenter. It can't be, because then we're easy to shoot down. And it has to be about the men in the manosphere.
Yeah, if it's about a personality, once that personality is not a part of it or is gone, then the whole thing collapses. So no, you don't. You don't want that.
I definitely don't want that. So again, how our group will work out in the future, I don't know. Again, thinking about the ideas, thinking about it. And again, what a lot of people, what I'm hearing, a lot of people want, it's like, they say like, what about young people? All right, well, give me an idea.
What about blue collar? I've heard that. Yeah,
I heard that
because
too.
Remember when I did this, some people were talking crap. Anybody who's listening to this, there were no invitations sent out for this at all. There never were. I never had a mass email sent out to people saying, please come to my meetup. What I did is I told people, this is the meetup, contact me if you want to go to. I don't know who these people are going to go. I don't know my target audience. And so I did this on Obsidian show, Little Big Nate, you did it as well. Bernard Riley. Yeah, we kept on advertising. The Sub-Zero did it as well. And we kept on saying, contact you or me, and we'll actually we were vetting the people to make sure they weren't psychos. And then I was sending out materials, but ultimately you were the best vetter of anybody. And
everybody there was on point. Every person that came was on point, dog.
So there were no invitations sent. I didn't say, oh, please go to my event. No, it was people calling us. And then ultimately it was particularly me, because I was, I'm security. I can say no. So it was me during the last 2 weeks saying, no, you can't go. No, you registered too late. We don't know who you are. No, you cannot come in. I don't. You just heard this? Did you hear? Okay, you heard this on Obsidian. Did you hear Obsidian say that the registration is closed? Because the registration is closed. And that's the way it was. I was enforcing this and saying, no, you can't go. And that's the way it is. So next time we'll have the same kind of strict standards. It's just that, what I say, it will be in different areas. We'll probably have 4 or 5 different areas. I can't just do things off the cuff and say, like, how about some guy just talk about a trade? Yeah, okay, you can go read a book. Go to YouTube for that. It has to be something that is beneficial to the audience and men at large in that group, like-minded men, so they can walk out of there and they have something. They have a skill. They have something that they can do. It's not just hot air. I don't need hot air. You can make a YouTube video for that.
That's what you got pastors for, man.
Yeah. Oh, you're cruel.
It's true.
Oh my goodness, it's getting snarky here now. Yeah,
you pay tithes for to hear the pastor.
Oh goodness gracious! Oh,
damn.
Damn, somebody's snarky.
True.
So I'm going to keep on having that standard. I think it'll work. I think that's sustainable for the future. And again, no, you can't have a program for young black men to get into tech. See, this is the problem. I'm going to explain to you why that's a problem. Because that's me doing an outreach, and we don't do this in the Manosphere. You come to us, and then while you learn about the red pill, if you hear about this, then you ask about it, and we put you into a group of men. And there you learn with other men about tech. We don't do this outreach bullshit. It doesn't work that way, because that's basically like a liberal government program. And that's simping, as far as I'm concerned. I don't do that.
Interesting. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's funny, Theo, and I heard about it. The 19-year-old that was stuck at the airport.
Uh-huh.
I remember
Yeah,
my
if you
dad.
could tell that story front to back, I'd
Oh
appreciate
man,
it.
because I remember my
You want
dad
it?
did something like that. Yeah, I want to hear it. I
Yeah.
want to hear it in
Okay.
its entirety because I wasn't there.
Okay, so this is how this worked. So this guy, he met us through International Passport.
Right.
And so he was talking to me on Facebook about how he wanted to go, various problems. So he was talking to me directly. And then on International Passport, he was talking to Tony Berry and myself. Tony Berry is my partner in crime because he's married to a Japanese woman. He does the total passport movement. He knows what's going on. And so he's also in Thai. He's an IT AWS developer. And he said he didn't want to go to it. Maybe he would. He didn't want to. But his other women, his mother in his life was telling him not to go.
Oh,
And we told him straight out that he needed to make his own decision. He had his own money. He needed to go out and do it. And if he didn't do it, he's always going to be in that position. So he needs to make that decision, and only he can make it by himself. And he is of the age to make that decision. And I told him again, when I was 20 years old, I got on the airplane to go to Russia. I mean, I was there in Russia. I had to figure life out.
At
it
20 years old. Wow.
Yeah. So I said, you can come down to Atlanta and talk to us. The same language, not a problem.
You know why I asked you to do that? Because you and Nate did something that I should have done. I know Tommy Jean has told me about it. Took a risk. My dad always, all right. And I have the business. It's already, I just got to get customers. You want to know what my problem is? And I'll be honest with you all. I haven't taken that risk by getting the customers. I mean, I got the trademark, I got the website, I got the shirts, everything. And I'm going to do home inspection. And what I got to do is just go out there and do it. Take the risk. And if you fall, you get right back up. That's why I had you. You talking about inspiration, Theo, like I gave you, and Brother Nate, that's inspiration because that's having that entrepreneur mindset. And that's what I saw you teaching. It was in my opinion, it was underground with the individuals with the AWS, because once you get the job, okay, then you can go off and actually start your own company if you want and make some money.
So I know what you're talking about with the customers. We need to talk about that. I can tell you how I dealt with that, because when I had my own company, that was an issue. So I mean, there's a way I can talk to you about it.
That is an issue with me. I mean, I can go get the insurance. That's easy, because you know what? I don't want to be out here working for people. I mean, I hear Big Mag talk, because let's just be honest. I just believe that, and we're Gen Xers. One thing that wasn't taught to me, now my dad told me, but I love my mom, but she wasn't into it. My sisters, we're always taught to go to school to get a job to make somebody else rich, but that's a problem with us. That's why we never have any money. And I was listening to a Red Supreme video, and he was right about this. A number of us Gen Xers and what do you call the baby boomers? We have jobs. You know what a job stands for? Just off broke. You always broke with a job. You notice that, Brother Nate? Yeah.
Yeah, man. I got a job. I got a job.
Yeah, we got a job. We're always on somebody else's. I mean, look at Theo riding first class and kicking back. Nobody is telling him what to do.
No. Because I understood for having my own company before I understood the situation. I knew what to do. Let me continue with this kid's story.
Yes. Go ahead, brother.
So he was texting me about different things, and I said, just go to the conference. What you want answered, it's going to be at the conference. So he actually flew, and when he landed, he was texting me like he was having all these problems. And I was like, okay, you made it to Atlanta. You actually booked your own hotel. I don't know where you're at, but you booked your own hotel. There's Uber. There's more than enough information. You're having problems. I know you can make it here.
Damn, that sounds just like my dad. Shout out to Mahogany. She's in the building. Go ahead, bro.
So I knew, I mean, I was in Russia and I had issues. I mean, I was stranded in London. I had no visa to. When I went to Russia, I lost my visa to Russia while I was going.
Oh my God!
And so they allowed me to go to London, and I was stranded there 5 days, and I had to work with my university to make sure I got another visa. They were begging the consulate in London, the Russian consulate the Russian embassy in London. They were begging them to give me a visa immediately because I was stranded, and I got it, so I was able to keep on going. But I knew what that kind of situation was. I didn't freak out. I used my head. I said, okay, well, I'm here. What do? I can't be homeless. I have to understand where to sleep, and I did. I got a hostel and went from there.
Wow.
So I knew this guy. If this guy had enough brain power to actually book his own hotel room and get to the airport in Atlanta, he can make it over. So he kept on texting me, worried about this stuff, and I just looked at it and I said, okay, I'm not even gonna look at the text anymore. That's it. You're gonna figure it out, and I'm not gonna give you any more assistance. And that's it. I said,
that's exactly how my dad talked to me. He said, "You wanted to get here." Because he asked me to go somewhere. I said, well, I forgot. I forgot what it was. But my dad said, well, I taught you how to read a map. You just have to just find your way here.
Yeah.
That's how he talked.
It was a tough
men
love,
figure it out though.
Well, you die. We have to survive.
Right. You have to survive. So when he got there, he had his own accomplishment. I didn't participate in it. He was able to say he did it all, and I was like, good. You own it now. You own the process. You actually learned something. Good. All right. Right. And so that's why I didn't participate. And that was actually, that actually was a dad move, but it was something that you needed to do.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I did it. And then I was able to talk with him a little bit during the conference, and got him paired up with other people who could help him. And I paired him up with another guy who was about at his level. It worked.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I'm learning. So anybody out there in the chat or already knowing the panel is interested in starting a business, you got to take a risk. If you fall, you got to get right back up. And that, Brother Theo, that's when you said that about that 19-year-old. And of course, especially when Tommy Jean told me, hey, you got the business and everything, you got to start it up. Working for somebody, you just don't make the money by working for all the 401ks and all that stuff that's played out. We were taught all this retirement. We were just taught too much on that, and it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. That was something that I taught. You were in there. That
I was in there. Yes.
I just went off. And I just went through and said, "This is it. This is how you do it. This is the stuff I can't say on YouTube. Okay, I'm going to actually teach you what the real game is, like how to actually really be successful." And people were taking notes, and I'm glad they were. I'm glad it wasn't videoed at all, because that's not supposed to be videoed. And people were learning, and now they're actually asking me various questions based upon what I stated, and I'm glad about it, because if you don't think in that way, the way that I talked about that in seminar, you are owned, and you cannot be owned. I got people going around like, oh yeah, I'm going to work all these years in this company. I'm like, no, man.
And I find that when you work for a company, okay, working for yourself, okay, my dad works for himself. Yeah, he says it's a headache, but the thing about, when my dad tells me, he says, guess what? I don't have a boss anymore. I'll handle it. And if I get stressed, I'll relax. You can't relax. You got to always have a threat of being fired. And then you got to deal with, you go get another job and references. And my dad said, you don't want to deal with that bullshit.
No, you don't want to deal with it at all. So I had a way of dealing with this. Again, when I had cancer. Yes. I actually really thought about this whole process, and I was like, what are you really doing? You're in America. Think about what the situation is and be honest about it. And that's how I got successful, was dealing with real reality. And then again, how you deal with, look at my closest network is a network who actually brings me, let's say, professional attention. I'll call it that. Right. They're the ones who do it. So you have to understand how to get those people working for you so that you don't have to go out and get a market. That's it. I re-engineered it in my head. And I said, I don't want a sales guy. I want a guy who already gets paid and gives me business. Then I give that person an incentive to give me business. But if I have to pay a sales guy, that's too much. I have to think about numbers, and I could be using that crunch time to actually make money. So I don't want that. So that's why when you're talking about, talking with your issues that you have with actually making your own company, I actually understand. So we need to talk about that.
Okay.
But I'm like, okay, this is how you do it. This is how you actually. But it takes a few years. But if you do it, set it up properly. Oh yeah, you're set.
You know what, Brother Theo? The hardest part I got through, I already paid for the trademark. If you look on my website, Quality Control Inspection Services, and I just paid for it again because it's good for every 10 years. You'll see the little R inscribed in the circle. That's mine. And that logo, I created myself. Yeah. It's called Quality Control Inspection Services. If you go on the website, you type that in, you can see it. I just have to update the website. And I got shirts. I got all kinds of paraphernalia from Vistaprint. That's all mine. And yeah,
that's good. That's good. You just have to execute it. That's all.
Right.
You're talking about execution because then you're talking about actual return on investment. I have a different kind of return on investment, but it's a different way of thinking about it. But I had like what you have right now. That's what kind of stuff I had in Japan. Right. Yeah, I mean, when the things burned, yeah, that was a hard burn. I had to sit back there and take the loss. So I don't want that for you. I want you to be successful.
Bro, listen, let me tell you, all the investment, I took some risk and I took some loss. And you know what? For some reason, that doesn't bother me because I know if I see the light at the end of the tunnel, and that's by putting in the action and working toward it, I'll get it back. And then, when you have a business, it's all kinds of deductions you can get if you do it right. Because you don't get any deductions if you might get a standard deduction if you have a W-2, but who wants a W-2?
Well, I dealt with that. I mean, I had an approach to that. So I still use an approach to that. It's a very aggressive approach.
Right.
I should probably talk about it. I saw what Mahogany is saying there. You have it on the screen. Again, what Mahogany, the way that I look at it is there are some people who are talking who are basically either debt slaves or wage slaves, and they're not talking about value. And the way I approach it all the time is always value. If you're not thinking about it from that point of view, you're in la la land as far as I'm concerned. So if I have wage slaves or debt slaves talking about me as I'm doing a mahjong game, as I'm thinking about value, I'll just look at them and say, "Oh, you're controlled. I don't care. You don't know where you're going. Your path is determined. Mine is not. So." Like I spent the day thinking about how to buy a condo in Brazil. That was legit. Like I was thinking literally about how to do a game plan and get that done. And then also I've been thinking about how to buy a second house in America. These guys aren't on that level. I'm thinking about variations of this. How okay, so if I marry a Ukrainian and I have a house in Brazil and I go back and forth between the two countries, or I marry a Brazilian, how is that going to work? Logistics. How do I get my dogs back and forth through immigration? What kind of money do I need in order to do a one-time payment? Where's the furniture store? I found the furniture store already. Okay, these kinds of things. Like again, I can finance all of this just from investments. These kinds of way of thinking. These guys aren't thinking this way. I'm like, okay, go back, get your McDonald's hamburger. That's fine. Enjoy it.
Wow.
Right? Yeah. I have to be brutally cruel like this because this is
real world. Again,
it came from being homeless. I mean, I brutally cruel. Like, how does this work? So those guys who are talking that way, I'm just like, okay, cute.
When were you on register?
When I was at the airport.
I saw you. We saw
Sky
okay,
Lab. Yeah, and in the Sky Lab, in the Sky Lounge, I was sitting there. I came on and I was seeing different things on YouTube, and I was like, it's like that's whack. Some people talking crap. Okay, I'm gonna go in there real quick and just start changing the narrative real quick.
Yeah, because
I did that.
he had somebody on before you, and we all know him. AJ. He was on Nate's show. AJ seeing Red from Chicago. Reg cut him off.
Yeah.
But
I just needed to change different narratives on there and the way that they're thinking. So I'm seeing how different people are thinking about it, and I just said, there are some things that I'll change, and then some things that are exposed you for who you are. So continue, because you're wrong, but I like that you expose yourself. I kind of find it to be funny. So continue on, then. That's okay. That's good comedy for me. Okay. Because it's not going to impact the people who I want to change, or who my students are, and then my future students. I know it's not going to impact them. So you can yap all you want. I mean, I'm going to get people up to $200,000 a year. And they won't be watching your live stream. They'll be in Brazil with me.
That's it.
Or maybe Colombia. Matters what the poison is.
Well, I mean, that's facts. I mean, you know, it's about time that we got to be honest with ourselves on where we want to go. And most of us who have a job, I mean, we are slaves with a job, and you know, all these degrees we got. I mean, I got a few degrees myself, more degrees than a thermometer. You know what? Sometimes, even with my STEM degrees, okay, we talk about that. You still don't get a good rate of return on those degrees, because you pay X amount of dollars and you get a $60,000 a year job. You're still in debt.
Yeah, that's right. I definitely agree. You can't go down that path. I'm going to say something else about what Mahogany is saying. Mahogany, you're talking about a bridge. I'm talking about a separation. This is what Nate is also talking about. I'm not talking about a bridge. I'm looking at how some people are, and I'm leaving them behind. I'm like, okay, this is where I'm going. This is where you are. You figure your side out. I'm going over here, and there's other people with whom I can work to get that done. And I'm being led also by other people who are actually inspiring me to go in a certain way. And I'm going to go in that way because I know what the structure is. And these men are all black. All right. So there are some people who aren't going that way. That's fine. I don't mind. I'm in Brazil. They do their thing. They forgot. Do they exist? I don't know. I don't see them on the streets. They can't pay for this hotel room I'm in right now. They can't pay for my ticket. They're not going to be building with me in Brazil. They're not going to be building me internationally. Well, they're not going to do computer work with me or do the future. They're not in the room with me. I don't care.
How's the weather down there?
It's nice. It's actually really nice. I like wearing shorts all the time.
Oh.
Most people here wear jeans. They don't wear shorts so much. I wear shorts all the time. Yeah, I'm on the beach. I'm actually in Sao Paulo, like central Sao Paulo. So I'm in a very bougie place right now.
And you want to know what it is up here in Indiana? About 29 degrees.
I wouldn't mind 29. That's actually kind of a nice story.
Well, 29 isn't bad, but when I left for work yesterday, it was 15, and I got to work, it was 19. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, down there. Hey, what about you, Nate? What's it down in the red state of South Carolina? What's the temperature down there?
Give me a sec. I'm pulling it up on my phone. We are at, God damn it. Hold on a sec. Y'all gonna have to give me another second.
Yeah, we got.
I remember the cold weather. That was cute. I remember being all depressed and making sure to take extra vitamin D in winter and just being miserable. That was great training for me to, do something in life.
37.
37?
Yeah, man.
Well, Hogany says it's 67, 65.
Where's she at?
She's in Charleston.
Charleston.
Good God Almighty!
It's supposed to be about 85 by Friday here, something like that.
Any humidity down there?
I don't care.
You below the equator. You in the southern hemisphere.
I mean, it's not like Austin. Austin's really horrible humidity. This is nothing. This is fine. This is me going out all the time and having a great time. It's even my trainer. She says like I've totally changed by being here. I have a different outlook on like different energy. Just like stay here, Theo. I'm like, yeah, I might do it. You know, if I could, I'd need to have my equipment, but I can't do it. That's why I'm thinking like 3 months here, 3 months back in the States.
Yeah. But like I said, I was excited about that meeting. I was excited to meet you in person, to meet Nate in person, you know. And the funny thing about it is, I actually feel a little more laid back now that I met you all in person and know who you all are. Actually shook hands and everything. It's you know, that 9-hour drive didn't bother me though. Even though I came in there in fumes, I wanted to be there.
No, that's good. So next time we're going to make sure that you have the proper presentation and tools, and things are going to happen with you. And we're going to make sure you have a proper room, and things happen, and you're going to have proper assistance and proper support. And I'm going to make sure other guys have that because now I know how to organize with different attendees to make sure that things happen. So I got it. I got it in my head how it's supposed to work. So next time it's going to be better.
And we have to have
go ahead, brother Nate.
We have to have like a travel day. Like I would imagine, you know, this is all tentative, of course. You know, Thursday would be the travel day, and we start Friday morning instead of Friday afternoon. You know, Thursday's the travel day. Absolutely.
You know, I was, you know, brother Nate, I was thinking of that. I sure wish I had done that. That would have been the best thing because I would have been much better prepared. I would have. And
yeah, I kind of admit that's a good point, Nate, because I mean I was there on Sunday, right? And the people I met Monday through Wednesday were like the big players in my eyes.
Yeah.
I was able to really make connections with those guys and actually talk. And then finally on Thursday, you know, you were there and we were doing the meetup with different guys. So we went out to dinner, like Hoop Jarkin was there and stuff. That was the real intimate connection. I was able to actually talk with people. And yeah, that's actually really correct. But how do you pull it off? Again, something I have to think about on the beach. Because with the group, not everyone's going to have a travel day. That's not realistic. But some will, but not everyone's going to do it. So how do you work with that? How do you work with guys coming in? I got to think about that, you know. So ideas are good. We have our little council that we're having. We're actually communicating on email. That's fine. We sit there and, you know, hit those ideas back and forth. I think that's good for communication in the future.
Well, you know, I think Nate and I mentioned it a while back ago. What do you think about an email list? Now, okay, you know my real name, Leon Jones. I always use it. I don't have a problem with my government name. I think having an email and a phone directory of the brothers that we can talk offline, and I prefer, like I have Nate's already, and he has mine.
Tice created a Telegram. I'm not familiar with the application Telegram,
right?
But he sent out a connection. You can join a Telegram. Are you familiar with Telegram, Theo?
Yeah, I'm on quite a few of them.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Tice created a Manosphere Meetup Telegram.
And that's smart.
Yeah, and he sent it out for everybody to be able to, you know, click and join. I have to learn about the app. But there's that we'll be able to connect through too.
I think that's a great idea. Thanks, Nate. That's actually wonderful. That's really innovative. Great. See, that's the kind of stuff I want. I want guys saying, "Hey, this is something I can do," and they do it. So because then it's decentralized.
Right. Space Cowboy says, "Separate and accelerate. The old framework is broken and never coming back." That's what Nate always says. Separate. We all say it. Separation is very, very good because you got a number of individuals that are still on a plantation.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the ones cracking too.
Yep, they are. Oh, well, I do have to go to sleep. I have a final report to do. I have to wake up early tomorrow. So I need to go and drop. It's good talking.
All right, brother. I appreciate you for coming on up, man. And
yep. Osamu, salute. Leon, great meeting you. I'm going to talk to you again. Hope
All
I
right.
added some value to your channel today, and I will talk to you guys very soon.
All right. Salute, my
All
brother.
right.
See you.
Brother Nate, you the man too. Gotta give you a shout out too, man. You did a hell of a job putting it together. That's why I support your channel, my brother. It was fantastic, brother.
You got to forgive me, man. I'm trying to chomp down some stuff.
You're trying to chomp down.
Yeah, man. But no, I like I said, I appreciate all the kind words and everything. I'm just really wanting to gear up for next year, man. I kind of got a lot of ideas and a lot of things we're going to be looking to accomplish. And there's going to be a lot of moving parts to it.
Absolutely.
And it's good that we begin the process now of seeing, there's very large personalities that'll be involved, and we have to see what we can do, with certain personalities, what we won't be able to do. It's good to get these questions answered now, and I'm just ready to work. Just ready to work, man.
Oh yeah, that just put some good inspiration back in. And brother Osama, you got to make this one. Got to make this one.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, man,
all right. Hey, man, I'm going to tell you, just like I said yesterday, when I saw when I saw you, my brother Big Mac, Tice, when I saw the four of you just all sitting down, and I saw Clue was there. I saw so many brothers. The percentage of the Manosphere Meetup brothers who are from our team on the Little Big Nate show and your show 411 who were there as an arrogant, like I said, it was a beautiful thing to see. It really was.
About 90, I did the math.
You did.
About 94 to 96% of the men that said they were coming came.
Wow. I didn't know it was
94 to 96%.
Wow.
It looked like those tables were full, brother Nate.
Yeah, it's insane. That's insane. The overwhelming majority of it. Now, there's the invitations I sent out in the beginning, and there were the confirmation emails. Okay. I'm talking about the confirmation emails, like about 3 or 4 weeks before the event. 94% of those men that said they were coming came. And yeah, man, it's amazing. It really is.
Gotcha. Hey, brothers, I think I want to just hey Nate, of course I want to let you and Lee. I don't know how long Leon's going to say, so I just want to say a few things that I was going to jump off and give all due respect to the two. All right, so first off, man, it's been a really good conversation tonight, and Thea was in some of the things he was talking about today in a sequential, multidimensional manner. Now, when I asked him that question, I more said that not necessarily playing devil's advocate, but just so he can to kind of quiet all the naysayers. But the way he broke it down and the way that brother thinks in a multidimensional, sequential nature, I really get where he's coming from. I don't get it 100% because I can't read anybody's mind. If I was doing that, I'd be Nostradamus. I wouldn't be a human, right?
Right.
So I really see what you say. I see the people he's really involved with, brother Nate. I see, if you guys ever checked out International Passports channel, phenomenal channel. It's nothing but positive energy. And one thing I got to say about all the SYSBM channels, there is almost virtually no beef, no arguing. It's a very you go to, whether it's International Passport, whether it's Master One Teacher, whether it's the brother Aaron Ferris, Black Man Travels, the energy, my man Pablo, we all know Pablo Frescobar. Phenomenal. It's an amazing energy. But Nate, just like he said, the first time I heard you talk, I knew you had a special gift. And Theo sees that. And I'm telling you, Leon, I'm not just saying that because we get along well. I see the way you carry yourself. I see the diverse intellectual skill set you bring to the table. I see the rational and calm manner. I really see you going, I'm telling you, I don't say this to many people. Now, one thing you brothers got to understand is I work, 10 hours, 11, 12 hours a day. I listen to podcasts. I listen to all kinds of things for on my YouTube. I have 78. I have usually about 70 hours a week long because while I'm working, I'm listening to things. I listen to a lot of intellectuals like Sam Vakin on narcissism. Are you familiar with him, brother Leon? I know you're big into the what is it? The dark triad.
Oh yeah, I'm good in it. Yes, I did it. Matter of fact, I got something coming on the dark triad.
Okay. Well, are you familiar with Sam Vakin?
No, I'm not familiar with him.
Oh, brother, you have to check him out. I'm telling you, this guy has an IQ, a certified IQ of 180.
Jesus.
He is the best. I'm telling you, when you hear him talk, he's an absolute genius. And you got to just check him out. He is the best on YouTube when it comes to talking about the dark triad personality traits. There's nobody who's even close to him.
Yeah,
the guy is amazing, and his when he says he has an IQ of 180, which is maybe on the whole planet, maybe 1,000 people, if that, even have that.
Yeah, I've never heard of somebody with an IQ that high. Never.
There's people who actually, and it's funny to say that. There's another guy I've been listening to, and his name is Chris Langdon, and he has an IQ of anywhere from 190 to 210. And I've been listening to a lot of his speeches lately. They say he has the highest IQ on the planet.
Yeah, mine's only 130. I'm like, that's pretty good, but 180. Hey, look,
130 is excellent. 130 is top is genius level. Only 2% of the American population has an IQ over 130.
Well, that's only because I took the test and passed it. That's how I got 130. But
it might be higher now. So
Mel. Mel is in the building.
What's up, Mel? So I was just going back to, I really see Leon. I mean, I see Theo's vision,
right,
in a lot of different ways. He kind of formatted things, but the thing about it is, like I said in the chat, a lot of people aren't going to really have the enlightenment, the intellectual understanding, or just the wherewithal to humble themselves to actually just listen to what he was saying and kind of understand that vision. Just like I said in the chat, you know what? I didn't talk for about an hour and a half because I had nothing to say. Leon, you and Theo were doing the talking. I learned a lot from what Theo was talking about today. And I got to say, too, it seems like with the success of this convention, I feel like it brought a little something more out of Theo. I don't know if you guys see that or not. I feel there's a little bit more of a presidential vibe he's had these last couple of days.
Let me tell you something, Brother Sama. When you're around successful people, and this is, and even Brother Nate can contest to this too. You don't have to dumb yourself down. You don't, like, I was around Nate, and they were around me, and we like-minded people. We didn't have to talk in lingo or in circles to dumb ourselves down so we can be with the other. I don't want to use the word non-intellectual, but the ones who are encased in beefing. We didn't have to go to that level.
Absolutely. No. That's a great point. And one of the things I wanted to highlight on tonight, and this, Nate, Brother Nate, when you say like-minded individuals, I see you repeating it over and over and over again. And Nate, I think Nate, now you tell me, I feel there's a reason, there's a method behind why you say this over and over again. It's like, I really understand sometimes why Umar Johnson repeats himself. Sometimes you have to repeat yourself over and over again. And it's like, da-doom, da-doom. You really have to grab people's mind.
Repetition is the mother of all teaching. And let me give a shout out to Be Easy Dude in the building. Shout out to Citizen Lou in the building. Welcome to the chat, you all.
Big Lou.
But
I absolutely. You just have to. You have to really push that into the minds of these men in this space.
Yes.
We, as Black people, not to turn this into something political, but of course, Black people have been taught that, we're entitled to this, we're entitled to that. Somebody's going to come and save us all. Anything that you've worked hard for, I should have access to eventually, somehow. And what we promote from our space and from our platforms is the opposite of that. We actually do discriminate, as does every American. Every American, every human being on earth discriminates to a certain extent. We all discriminate.
Facts.
There's nothing that's for everybody, including this. This is absolutely not for everybody. If we were to open this up to everybody, it would have been an absolute disaster. It's for like-minded men.
And everything you said, Nate, you were absolutely, I understand.
We have to stand on what's correct, man.
Right.
There's no way to connect and try and build something with a bunch of men that love fighting. I have sat in this space for 4+ years, and I've watched. You all know I don't start shit in chats. I don't start fights. I don't insult people that are up on the platform. But for years, I've been sitting and watching the men who do. Men who just love to come into a chat and start shit, love to hop up on a platform and start insults and disrespect. There's nothing you can do with those men. I'm sorry. And you can't be part of what we're trying to do. You think it's so easy? Just go ahead and do it yourself then. Go ahead and invite every guy to something you're putting on, and we'll see how things turn out.
That's it.
And now, hey, Brother Leon, I'm just going to add one last thing, and I'll let Citizen.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, knock out.
Hey, Nate, great point. And what I'm about to say, I'm not trying to throw the bird under the bus, but it's been a great conversation tonight. And the brother, and I'm going to tell you, Sir Ism, we're going to use him kind of as an avatar. Oh. Sir Ism is actually the guy is an extremely talented comedian. He is, I'm telling you, Sir Ism's a funny guy.
I heard about it.
The brother has had me laughing. His charisma, his cadence with his charisma and his jokes. The brother he can be on stage. But now, Sir Ism, he has all of this talent for the comedy game. He's super charismatic. But why do you want to come on here and you want to start battling right away? Just come on here and say, "Hey, what's going on, brothers?" Who cares? You don't. It doesn't. Nobody's worried about your political leanings. Just come on here and try to. Nobody was. We don't do that over here.
Yeah, we weren't even talking about politics, and
nobody's talking about that. But the problem is, he was coming on here to start drama and get attention, and he doesn't even have to do that because he has a gift for comedy, and his charisma is top 1%. Where he can just come on and add something from his natural abilities and gifts to any platform he goes on. He can add to the synergy of that. But instead, he wants to come there and talk and just start something for no reason. And I want to shout out my brother Kloof for just getting him up out of there right away. It's like,
well, Nate checked on him too, man. Shout out to him too. We don't.
Oh, they did too. I didn't see that.
I saw that. Nate got him too, and hey, that's why.
All I said was this is for like-minded men.
Brother Nate, that was enough because he said, well, he said I'm getting out of here. And after you said that,
yeah, Clue's the one that went in at him. That was close. Clue.
And you know what? I'm going to say respect to the brother, Sir Ism, for just saying, you know what? Maybe I don't belong here. I'm just going to leave. But and my man Cortez is 100% right. Ism's problem is he trolls too much and he's too emotional. And Cortez, you're 100% right. And the thing is, Ism, he actually has good communication skills. He knows how to talk. He knows how to make things live in a positive manner. But he's taking his gifts from a negative aspect instead of just rolling it into something that he could use his gifts in a way that could go ahead and add another ingredient to the gumbo that we have going on here. So, it just kind of goes to show that you're right. This isn't for everybody. But I just want to say, with that said, I'm out, and I want to say salute to Mel. We got Bill Archness up in here. Salute. You guys all got it. I'm checking out. Hey, Leon, thanks for having me on the panel. I want to let these other brothers get in there.
All right, brother. Salute. You're welcome up anytime. And you want to get to my boy, Citizen Lou. What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's going on, brother Leon?
Hey, what's going on? Long time no see, bro.
I know, man. I know. What's up, Nate? What's up?
What up, Lou? How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good, brother. I've just been traveling. Just finally got back to North America.
Oh,
Oh, you back stateside? Okay,
I'm
cool.
back. That's why I was like, damn, because I was like, oh man, because I wanted, I was thinking about going, man, but I was overseas, so I was like, it's no
oh,
I sent you an
point in setting it
invitation.
up.
I sent you an invitation.
I know,
Okay.
I got it, I got it.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say, man, shout out to you, brother Leon, for having that footage, man, because even though the haters was using it, but at the same time, fuck them, because everybody who went personally that I talked to or heard from, they all experienced some type of personal edification.
Said it was wonderful. Man.
Said
Absolutely.
it was great. They are
yeah.
networking. From what I saw, it seemed like everybody had a good time. And I wanted to talk to Theo because Theo, remember Nate, we had that debate about the AWS and CompTIA. I'm gonna be
Yes.
honest, he was right about the AWS because I'm working on that cert right now.
Wow. Yeah.
And he's got about 70 black men working on it too.
Oh yeah. And you would have been a good asset there, brother Lou. You would have
I
been.
know that's what, because I don't even have the CompTIA certs. I have because I'm working on the AWS. So I was like, man, Theo was, because I talked, he was actually right about that. But
Oh wow!
so
Make
that
sure
was.
you tell him that when you get a chance, man.
I
He'll
know. I saw
appreciate
him up here. I wanted to tell him, but I
He's
was.
Theo's in the chat.
Oh, there you
that.
go, Theo for the
Okay,
win.
cool deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Theo.
He says, thanks for the win. He's in the chat.
Yeah, Theo, because Theo, they got that AWS Amplify and Beanstalk and S3 and DynamoDB. So a lot of a lot of DevOps stuff. That's a good way for developers to get in and stuff like that. So that's why I was like, damn, man. I was like, damn, Theo was right about that. But I don't want to digress on that. I just wanted to say, man, what I have noticed. I'm sorry I wasn't there,
Go
so I
ahead,
can't
bro.
really
Go
talk
ahead,
about
bro.
the meetup.
Yeah, we still talking. Go ahead, bro. It's clear, man. We don't have any drama here on this channel, on Nate's
No,
channel.
right. I know TVA. I heard TVA made some good points, so I don't want to take his thunder because I know what he's gonna say. But it was just some lame haters who can't even organize a Chuck E. Cheese rally for their kids. You know what I mean? And most people
No, they
probably
can't.
had some personal vendetta with Obsidian or Nate.
Hey, Lou, say that shit again for him in the back. Lou, fuck all that.
Hey,
Fuck all that.
what's going on,
Steal the
TVA?
goddamn thunder, man. What's up? What's up, man? How
In
you
the
doing, bro?
building, bro. What's going on?
No, TVA, you was cooking them niggas. That's why I ain't want to take what you was saying. You was cooking them niggas.
Man, cook them some more, goddamn it. Shit, flip them over, cook the other goddamn side, man.
Cause you know what, Nate? I did have one little critique prior to the
Sure, go right
debate,
ahead,
Before,
sir.
I was thinking like, I don't know about the IT and the conservative thing. That was my only thing. I didn't know because we never. It was no proof of concept yet, right? But now that we see it, it's like, damn, that wasn't even nothing to worry about. It all worked out. We got brothers got the AWS account set up. We got brothers networking. So it was like, you know what I mean? So any critique I had, or not even a critique, a assumption of what could go wrong, right? Because you never, what I'm saying, you never know what can happen. Somebody like, don't tell me what to do, right? But no, we know that all worked now. So I'm definitely gonna go to one in Houston.
Awesome.
I think,
man, you got the yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go to one in Houston now because I actually feel bad I missed it now because I'm like, damn, Sub-Zero was there. And,
brothers got on planes 3,000 miles away.
So people like me drove 9 hours.
411 drove 9 hours on the faith
right.
it was going to work out, man, and it worked out. So,
and you got people that live. You got people that live 2 hours from Atlanta talking shit. Didn't show up.
Really?
Didn't want to contribute nothing. Look, hey, I ain't come over to take over nothing, man. I don't mean it, but let me just say, hey, man, Theo, Little Big Nate, Obsidian. Hey, man, I have my disagreements with any. I don't agree with anybody 100%. You know what I mean? But the fact is,
none of us.
You guys showed up, you showed out, and you did your thing. And that small percentage of black people, that small percentage of black men that we talk about as the only hope for these niggas, man, you guys are it. You guys are that small percent. And I need you guys to understand that, man. I need you guys to pat yourselves on the back, man. I wish the best for you, brothers. I'm sorry I missed it. I just got a load, and I was in the Southwest when it happened, man. Either Arizona or New Mexico, whichever one. But hey, man, I'm sorry I missed it. I hear that the next one may be in Houston. I look forward to it if so. And hey, Theo, man, hopefully you take some you take some help next time, man. Make motherfuckers give, man. Make motherfuckers chip in this time. I'm definitely in on it if I can't make it. But I just want to salute everybody that was involved, man. Shout out to Jab. Shout out to the brothers. Man, and to Lou, I'm not saying that no one should criticize, brother. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I hear brothers saying shit like they're criticizing the clothes that the brothers wore. They're criticizing brothers' body type. It's like, what's up, man? It's like, what are you saying?
When I was on ARC's panel yesterday, he said the same thing. How people was criticizing what they was wearing, and then they're talking about women don't want men for their looks and everything. He was like, "What? Are you stupid?"
Check it out. Niggas were criticizing the carpet at the Westin.
Yes, they were.
Amen.
Carpet at the Westin.
Wow.
This is what these effeminate niggas have criticized. Our enemy is not the black woman, y'all.
Mate, that's what I heard.
It's these effeminate black men.
What the fuck they spend that on? Just like some bitches.
They're black women. They're black women with penises. That's what they are, man.
Well, Nate, you're onto something when you say it's the weak man. I'm gonna jump off after this, but you're onto something when you blame the weak ass man. I mean, let's think about it. Who's subscribing to these bitches OnlyFans? Who's stepping up to be stepdad for these baby mamas and stuff? Ooh. So at the end of the day, it is these weak men that's enabling these motherfuckers. It's usually the same niggas that have all the chit and chat to say when the real men are stepping up, walking the goddamn walk. And that's what you brothers did, man. I just want to salute you guys. I wish the best. Thank you for letting me up, big dog. And you guys keep rolling, man.
Hey, TVA, you welcome anytime to come up here, bro. I mean,
yes, sir. I appreciate it.
It ain't all about politics here. And by the way, they were criticizing my cell phone videos I was taking too.
Hey man, you were there. You were there. And you know what? You had, like I said, you had motherfuckers that lived 30 goddamn minutes away. They could have showed up with their iPad. How about that shit? Since you want to complain about his equipment, you could have brought your black ass up there and recorded some footage, but you didn't. So shut the hell up.
TVA, I ain't gonna hold you. You know me and you, we disagree on a lot of things. I did hear your last I heard your last stream talking about the Manosphere haters, and I agree 100%, man. Like if you can't sit by criticizing and you just talking, you're not putting in work, you're not doing anything. Like I really didn't have any conception of what the meetup was going to be, so I didn't have any opinion. I had questions, but I didn't have any opinions. And the fact that it turned out positive, I'm happy for y'all, man. I'm glad it was a positive overall outcome.
I appreciate that, bro.
So, yeah, man. He was actually the TVA went on. I forgot who he went in on, but
I didn't even see that. I got to go check his channel out.
Yeah, some dude named Kuda. Something I don't know who that is.
Kuda?
But
DJ Kuda. Yeah, all them, bro. 411. All them niggas.
Wait, DJ Kuda was hating.
Everybody was.
Yeah,
hating.
bro.
Like,
what the fuck?
Niggas who didn't put in on it. And you know what? I want to say about that footage you have.
Damn, now I'm looking at Kuda differently now, man. Like,
I mean, yeah, bro.
I do just have to mention. He had to mention ism and everything, and that's Kuda's man. I'm like, yo, shit's like, I got onto with ism on his channel and everything.
Bro.
I don't feel their work. He's saying 13-hour live stream.
Yeah,
13-hour live stream.
Like, what the fuck?
13-hour live.
Jesus Christ. What are you talking about in 13 hours, man?
Yeah,
bro.
That's why some niggas in these panels and everything, I don't want to make peace with. Like, yo, you already rubbed me the wrong way. Nah, I know Kuda was trying to have me make peace with ism and everything. I'm like, nah, I'm sorry, I can't. You already crossed the line me twice, and I had to put him in his place twice. Nah. You know what I'm saying? Me and Charles had to put him in his place on this channel. Because I was like, that nigga's a bozo clown, yo. Like,
shout out to my boy Gerald in the building. I enjoyed those videos, 411. Thank you, brother.
I did too, Leon. I was watching them end to end. You know what I mean? They were trying to talk. You know, they talking about some. Y'all didn't have no professional. Obviously, he's not a professional. He's an attendee. You dumbass niggas.
Yeah, hey, look, I was using the 1080K cell phone. Look, by the way, I got you all on the phone. Does anybody know how to use a GoPro? I have that. I should have used that.
Just watch. I'm guaranteed there's YouTube videos that'll.
Yeah, I
tell
gotta
you how
have
to
to
use
set
it.
it because
I got
brother
YouTube
Nate, the
videos.
GoPro would have been a lot better. But I wanted to get the action. It was unedited. I wanted everybody to see.
Bruh, you could have filmed it with a red camera and had Spielberg producing it. They would have had a fucking goddamn
Yeah,
complaint.
you're
never
right.
gonna
You could have
make
had a
these
drone.
effeminate weirdo niggas happy.
Yeah, you could have had a
never-
drone, Leon. You could have had a fucking street team following y'all everywhere with the cuts. They would still say some
You
bullshit.
could have filmed it in the metaverse on Facebook or some shit and had a perfect everything. They would have still found something to complain about. They're women. They're female.
Yeah, bro.
And
Yeah,
females are always gonna find something to complain about.
Dude, I saw some of it. I saw some of the videos. I didn't see anything worth complaining about. It was just footage. There was one thing that I did think it was funny from what I saw. It's petty, but your man with the mask on. I don't know how many people had masks in there.
That's Obsidian, bro.
That was Obsidian.
To wear a mask, dog.
Well, he took it
No,
off.
it
was his option, man. It's his option.
He took it off.
Yeah, no, it's nothing. No, I'm not doing none of that. It just looked funny the way like the image of it just looked funny, but it wasn't even a slight. It wasn't even a diss, man. Like I said, man, it turned out positive. Nobody was scrapping. No fights happened.
Bro,
nothing crazy.
That's
like that.
but Lou, that's what they free zone. That's what they wanted though. They wanted Obsidian to get knocked out. They wanted everybody to be passing blunts around.
Bruh, not only were there no fights and no acrimony, it was literally the exact opposite.
No women.
Your brothers were fighting over who gets to pay the bill. Not who has to pay it. They weren't fighting over who has to pay it. They were fighting over who gets to pay it. That's unheard of with black men, dog. I'm sorry. I've been out with white dudes. White dudes argue over who gets to pay the check. Black men were arguing over who gets to pay the check. We went to breakfast at Flying Biscuit on Sunday morning, and Big Mike Drop paid the bill, and none of us even knew it. Paid for 7-8 men at Flying Biscuit, full breakfast, just paid it. And then Big Mag dropped $100 on the table for the tip.
That's love right there.
That shows you the class. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Wait, you said nobody was arguing? I ain't buy that. I ain't buy that shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Man, this iced tea wasn't mine. I didn't have no iced tea. No,
nigga, you ain't buy 2 burgers, nigga. I ain't buying that shit.
Yeah, man. Hey, Clue, if that was the case, then I take it back, man. I take it all back. If that was the case.
Hey, brother Nate, what was the breakfast? I mean, because I know
it was Flying Biscuit. Flying is a restaurant named Fly. It's a famous breakfast establishment out of Atlanta. Flying.
Because I know. Me and Tommy Jean, we were listening. I think V103 down there, and I know. I wish I could have, taken her down there, some neck bones or something down there. One of them soul food restaurants down there in Atlanta.
Oh wow, okay.
Oh yeah, she
man. It'll be better organized and the times in and out will be better next time.
Brother, this was, like I said, this was great. And the nostalgia, brother Nate, the nostalgia. Once you get that first one there and you've seen everybody, this nostalgia is not going to go away. Yeah, we might not talk about it as much, but I'm just like you, brother Nate. I'm giving my pinpoint on it and letting people up there because, hey, I want everybody to know that what we did was not what everybody intended it to be. We didn't talk about politics. We didn't talk about women. We talked about networking, and we started talking about the next one we were going to have.
There was no talk of females.
Nothing.
How many of you are familiar with Master Yao?
I am. I hear.
Okay, so
Ron will talk about him a lot.
Yeah. Are you familiar with him, Citizen Lou or Free Zone Lou?
I never heard of him.
I'm sorry. What'd you say, bro? My girl was talking. What'd you say, Nate?
Master Yao. Are you familiar with Master Yao?
In pertaining to what?
He's a gentleman. That he's an author. He has
coach.
Yeah, he's a lot of things. He's like a 70-year-old black man. His name is Master Yao, and he showed up Saturday night at the event. he lives in Atlanta. He's a mentor to Rom Wills. He's mentored men in the manosphere. He wrote a book called I ordered it. It's called hold on a second. Mastering Masculinity, Awakening the Mastering of Masculinity, or something like that. Hold on a sec.
Yeah, you might have to
That's
talk
my
about some of
first
that
time
on here.
hearing about him.
Well, he came Saturday, and the only talk about women, Brother Truth, you know Bro Truth, right?
Yeah.
Bro Truth and Master Yao were sitting in the lobby with about 8 of us talking about women. That's the only women talk there was. And there was a conversation about, the ABW and women in general. Master Yao, who's like a relationship expert, an expert on masculinity and femininity. I looked at his website. He's got a bunch of books. I'll put the website in the. I'll drop the website in the chat. And but that was the only talk of women the whole weekend.
Yep. No politics, nothing. It was all brotherhood, straight up.
And Brother Nate, I wanted to say this too, man. You could tell people who've never been in a professional networking setting or anything of that matter, because that's what you do. You meet like-minded brothers, because networking will get you further than any degree or certification. Period.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Like, you got Brother Tyson DevOps, you got Theo as a consultant, you got other brothers in there. I know Sub-Zeros and data with business intelligence. I'm sure there was other brothers doing other great things too. I mean, hell, I'm sitting at a book. I want to write a book one day. So you can't get that on a panel. You know what I mean? You can't get that type of connection.
What does it say that men are rooting for it to fail? What kind of men would root for something black men are involved in to fail?
It's because they weren't the first ones to do it, Nate.
Well, think about what KS went through when people was hating on him. People want to be the first to do something, and they feel like their type of crowd should be the ones to succeed and everything. People
if we waited on those niggas to do something, it would never get done.
Exactly.
These niggas produce nothing.
It would never get done.
Think about all of us became multi-millionaires. The most hate you get is from our own peoples and stuff. I think a certain percentage don't go back to the communities like that when they become successful. You don't see Jay-Z going back to Brooklyn like that when he became successful, because he knows. You know what I'm saying? I'll help you, but I'm not going back to that hood like that. I've been working too hard to go back like that. You don't go backwards.
Hey, there's videos of Jay-Z with his crew with just that look on his face, like, yeah, I'm leaving.
Why am I around these
guys? Exactly. He's in the background with a stiff look, but he's like studying, watching, and stuff like that. Back in the day, like in the late 90s, early 2000s, watching when Dame Dash was showing off with Rockefeller and everything, but he in the background with a stiff look, like just watching. Look at him now, multi-billionaire and stuff like that. I mean, Dame Dash, he's a millionaire, but Dame should have more money than he had now than he was back. He probably should be on Jay-Z's billionaire level, but that just shows you, like, yo, dudes that overly floss so much and stay doing that. Yeah, like dudes that sit back in the background watching quiet, they learning. Jay-Z learned from old millionaires and stuff. They don't floss like that after a while.
Yeah, shout out to Mr. Albert in the building. He says these are so-called pro-blacks. These guys.
Right. Yeah, I heard about them. Yeah, like.
Right, these niggas talking about some. These pro-black. And you know what? It was so funny, because these are people who ain't got really shit to bring either. It's like
no.
You know what I mean? Y'all have. That's why you talking shit. Like it was some nigga that talking about some. Oh, it sound like Theo just promoting his IT course, and he said something else, some shit like that, and so he called it like some bullshit. I don't even want to say, but it was just like, nigga, you talk about poker and shit. You know what I'm saying? You talking about some bullshit all day, like
the visible
enemy. Got a real valuable skill.
I mean, look, it's a separation. Where I've been talking about it for the last couple of years. We got the men that are about their business, men who can come together and have tangible accomplishments, and we got the men that are going to sit there and talk and be disruptive and foolish. And there's no way you can mix the two men together. There's just no way. You will get nothing accomplished but fussing and fighting. Can you imagine trying to hold something like this and niggas are over in the corner at a table, ice grilling another group of niggas, talking shit about, bro, there was literally every time we broke, all the tables are gathering together, brothers are dapping, half a hugs, how you doing? Nothing but laughter and smiles everywhere. You know Jonathan Barronville, right, Clue?
Oh,
I mean,
JB.
excuse me, right, Lou?
I just got familiar with him on Bernard Riley the other day.
Okay,
Go ahead,
he's like he's allegedly got like 150 something IQ, like damn near genius level. He's an IT professional. He's 26 years old. He's supposedly extremely successful financially. He put as a comment, and he said this was the best IT what is it called? What is it called? The
AWS conference?
no. The when you come together.
Conference?
I forgot the word.
Convention.
Convention.
No. Well, no. When you come together. Networking.
Fellowship.
Okay, no, I got it. He said, yeah. My bad. Brain fart there. Jonathan Barronville said this was the best IT networking event he had ever been to, ever. Genius level, allegedly, IQ, high-ranking IT guy. He said that in a comment on one of the brothers' videos. He said that. Okay, so what some live in their basement, 15-hour stream a day nigga has to say about anything, nobody cares, man. The only people that care are the vermin that attend his trash ass live streams. Who the hell has 15 hours to be on a fucking live stream?
15 hours.
I don't. I got shit to do.
Men have shit to do. Ladies can sit up there running their fucking mouths all day. So, let them do
gossiping and shit. Girl, did you see what he did on that channel, girl?
Yeah. Shout out to Kenneth Williams. He's in the building.
Kenneth Williams, what's up, bro?
What's happening?
He was a guy on your show yesterday, Nate. Shout out to E Black TV. It was really
Hey,
good.
what up, E Black? Yeah, man. Next year, I mean, we got an opportunity to do some pretty interesting things next year, man. I'm working on what's called a resource bank, where we're gonna have men who have levels of expertise in different fields holding their own workshops next year. There are certain things we got to get ironed out. What will and won't be. Things that will and won't be spoken about, there's things we got to get figured out. But yeah, get in early, on this next one, and if you say you're going to be there, you really want to plan to be there. And again, we're looking for men that have expert level skill sets in all sorts of fields of endeavor for the resource bank and for the workshops that'll be done. And just reach out to you, brother. Y'all know my email address. It's everywhere. My government name, my phone number is out there. It's everywhere. Just holla at me, man. And it's funny. None of these niggas have called me, Lou. Not my number. Everything of me is out there. Ain't none of these bitch niggas decided to pick up the phone and call me. They're
not gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna do it. I mean,
yeah, man.
There's some people I'm looking kind of side-eyed now because I'm like, when I'm watching the videos, I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, they got it done, they doing it, and then I'm hearing the hate, and I'm like, whoa. Now I'm looking at you different because you can't just acknowledge that it was a positive thing, like
or say nothing. All you gotta do is say nothing.
Right, exactly.
Mom said, what did our mothers tell us? You ain't got nothing nice to say. Don't say nothing.
Not everybody mama taught them that, Nate. Some people mama taught them how to hate, be a bitch ass.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
As a matter of fact, hey Lou, you were on that stream yesterday. SKC did a great stream kind of pertaining to this last night when he was talking about he posed the question of why in the Manosphere we talk about everything else, but one of the things that we don't talk about is love. In any form of love, in this particular case, let's say brotherly love. it's an issue. It's a thing that when you talk about solutions and stuff like that, it never gets talked about. Just showing love. It's showing love is a sign of weakness, and we got to get rid of that shit, man. It's got to go. It absolutely has to go. We have to bring love amongst each other back.
I agree.
So that is hate
Free
shit.
zone.
A free zone, bro. You would have loved this event, dog. And,
Oh,
and
yeah.
not the corny love. I'm talking like the love that Theo talked about earlier with that 19-year-old. He said, I need you to get here. Stop texting me. Stop complaining. You're a grown man. You made it to the Hartsfield Airport. Now find a way to get here. That kind of masculine, go ahead and step up to the plate love. Which, a lot of us don't get growing up because we don't have fathers,
Exactly.
I would like to know. No, I was curious. Did Pablo and Jap ever conversate with each other?
Nah, they were at the same table though, because
Yeah.
one's a passport, Jap's
Yeah, that's the whole
the
thing.
passport. Nah, but they sat at Obsidian's birthday table and there was no drama. No drama.
I talked to Pablo about that. He said it was still cool. He said it didn't come up at all.
No drama, dog. No drama. I'm telling you, no drama.
And I got a good poll out there. 90% said the Manosphere meeting went successful, and I got 10% that it didn't.
And
what was the reason why for the 10%? I would like to know.
No. Why? Why?
Hey, yo, that shows you like, yo, ain't just hate. Damn, nothing better to do.
It was hate. I actually had, like I said, 50 votes, 45 said yes, which is 90%. 5 said no, which is 10%.
Yeah, I heard some weirdo critiques. They were saying Obsidian should have had a table and books out there selling books. And
whoa! Time out. Obsidian sold out of his books.
Oh,
he brought 2 full boxes of books and he sold out of them. Next.
Oh yeah, I remember they were lying on the table upstairs. Yeah.
Yeah, he sold out of all of his books. These
Nate, when you a nigga,
niggas don't know anything about what they're talking about.
Yeah, Nate, when you a nigga who just watching from the sidelines and shit, you just make up shit like that. Cause I know
they literally make up
miss an opportunity to sell some books now. What the fuck? Like,
yeah, these niggas are idiots. These niggas are idiots, dog. Obsidian on Saturday night sold out of all of his books within 30 minutes. 2 full boxes of books sold out, signed them all, got tons of pictures with him signing them for people, him posing with people. Stupid niggas running their mouths. That's what I put a hashtag on one of the videos I put up.
Black TV got a signed copy of it. He
got a signed copy.
Yep.
Hashtag show your work or shut your mouth.
Yeah,
hashtag show your work or shut your mouth, you filthy vermin nigga.
No, we might not
shut
be
up.
talking. Yeah, we might. We're looking for the next one. They're gonna find all kinds of video to talk about this first one we had. It's Brother Nate. It's gonna go right into 2022. They're gonna run out of stuff to talk about. So they're gonna.
Nate, y'all. I think y'all might have broken the classic 72-hour window.
What do you mean?
So I got a little theory. Like whenever something happens in the Manosphere or YouTube, it's a 72-hour window, and then until they move to something else.
Okay, gotcha.
So last time I broke it was Fresh and Fit. They went past
weirdo niggas are still
so
on.
Y'all might go past.
Well, if they were mad at 2021, these niggas are gonna be considering suicide when they see 2022. We're gonna have suicides in the Manosphere because they're not gonna know what to do with themselves when we do next year. I'm dead fucking serious. A nigga with a 1,700 subscriber channel pulled this shit off with Theo.
Yeah.
And you gonna tell you and all we're supposed to sit around and listen to is what niggas can't do? Man, shut the fuck up, nigga.
Hey, I put this in the chat earlier, and it's a handed down quote, but it says those who say it can't those who say it cannot be done should never interrupt those who are doing it. So fuck the haters, bro.
Shit.
Fuck
I gotta
the
use that.
haters.
I gotta use that. I gotta use. I've never heard that saying, free zone. I'm gonna have to use that, dog. Good shit.
Yeah,
Good
man.
shit.
Hey, everybody in the chat, put brother Citizen Lou's channel in, and gotta subscribe to Little Big Nate. I'm gonna be on his panel tomorrow. It's gonna be some hot fire. So what I'm gonna do, gentlemen, I've been on here for I'm gonna be like you, brother Nate. Been on here for about 3.5 hours. It's 10:02 here. I just want you all, starting with brother Free Zone Lou, to give me your last comment of the day. You're gonna go round robin.
And hey, look, man. Like I'll even say it again, man. Those who say it cannot be done should never interrupt those who are doing it.
Mm.
The haters are irrelevant, man. Y'all have something. Whether people believe in it or not, it seems to be working for you. And I wish y'all the best of success, man. I'll try to. You said I think somebody said this next year is going to be in Houston.
Yeah, see if you can
Yeah,
get
we're
there.
trying to get it in Houston next year. Yes, sir.
See if you can get
All right,
there.
cool. I'll try to make it, man. I got a kid on the way, so I got to take care of that first. So
No doubt.
let me, you know what I'm saying? If that doesn't get in the way, I'll catch a flight. I'll definitely do that.
Good thing, though. For a good thing.
A good catch flight. Yeah. I ain't got time to catch no flight over no dump. I'm trying to have a good time. You know what I'm saying? Ride out, see Houston, see what it's like. You feel me? So y'all keep holding it down, man. Do your thing. And till I see you on the next stream, man. Everybody have a good one.
All right, Free
Zone. All right, Free Zone. Take it easy, bro.
All right, brother Melly Bell. What do you got to say?
Man, just keep doing your thing, man, no matter what, man. Those who, what I'm saying, do their things and succeed at it, and everything, you're going to have haters. Sometimes it's best to, what I'm saying, not regret, not do nothing at all, than, what I'm saying, and I'd rather fail trying to do something. At least I won't have to sit back and for regrets, because at least I tried it and stuff. But you got those that ain't going to try nothing and still complain and stuff. You ain't even try to see if it worked. You didn't even see it all the way through. Like, you know what I'm saying? So definitely, man, keep doing what y'all doing, man. I will definitely be there for next year. Definitely, man.
Excellent.
All right, brother.
Excellent.
Salute.
All right, man. Take it easy, man.
Take it, yo.
All right, Mel.
Yeah.
All right, brother Citizen Lou.
What's up, brother Leon? Thanks again for giving us that inside view. You know what I'm saying? I actually enjoyed it. I'm glad you did it. Nate, salute to you, man, for innovating and getting off your ass and putting your shit to life and actually follow through. That's what a lot of black men don't do. Black men don't follow through. There's two things black men don't like doing: paperwork and follow through.
It's paperwork.
That's I'm telling you, man. That's something. So that's what holds us back a lot. So I wanted to say, man, it's funny how you got dudes talking about catching flights to fight and beat other niggas up, and I'm gonna kill y'all this shit. But you got brothers who actually took flights to network and meet each other, and that just goes to show that niggas are the nexus of evil, and we, like you said, we just gotta separate. I don't want to fuck with these niggas. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And you don't even have to. What do you say, Nate?
No, I was agreeing with you. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I say you don't even have to agree with these people politically, because because I'm sure there's somebody you might rock with that is going, you know what I mean? So don't, I just want to say this to everybody. Don't let nobody talk you out of going next year, because I'm definitely going next year. So if y'all want to link up, Citizen Lou will definitely be there next year.
Well, 2022 will be here before you know it. So
it's going to be here before you know it, man. Exactly.
So
you know what I mean? And I do got, I'm saying, I'm going to get on that. Hey, I will say that I'm gonna get on that treadmill. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna knock some of this work from home weight off. You know what I mean? We're gonna cover that motherfucker ready 2022, boy.
Oh, me too, boy. I gotta drop some LBs. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
But I get it with y'all next one, man. Salute.
All right, Nate's going tomorrow,
man.
so
Appreciate
be
you
there
coming
for
through,
Nate.
bro.
All right, salute my brother Nate.
Man, we familiar with this.
Hey,
this
man,
the last
we did
two,
last
man.
night, and you know what? I'm gonna be on yours tomorrow. So look
Yes,
out
sir.
for it. Yeah,
Man,
but,
I just again, although I appreciate all the kind words, but I'm kind of ready to move on. You know,
yes.
and I'm not telling nobody what to do with their platform. Y'all talk about whatever you choose to talk about. I'm just ready to start talking more about what we're gonna do next year. Basking in the glow of the success of this is cool, but at the end of the day, you know, it's like celebrating graduating from high school. You know, it's an accomplishment, but there are much bigger fish to fry out here. You know what I'm
That's right.
saying? So, you know, when we're getting invited, in my personal opinion, when we're getting invited to the White House to discuss our issues, or we're meeting with the leader of the House of Representatives or the Senate to discuss the issues we want addressed, that's when, you know, you might find me basking in the glow for, you know, a few more days. But, you know, it was easy because we had the kind of men you can work with.
Absolutely.
And none of these dudes are going to understand that. They spend so much of their time being disruptive and hateful and destructive. They are their mother's sons. That's what they are. And that's why you can't be part of what we're doing. And that's why you probably never will, because you never learned how to act. You could say whatever you want to say about me. Well, Nate, you said you're going to slit guys' throats. That's after a year of being disrespected and insulted by people simply because of my political views.
No, I
Like,
understand.
I don't have, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I understand how you feel,
Yeah.
bro.
Like, I don't have the right to have my political views. I've never attacked a man in this space based on his political views. You got the right to think whatever you want. You could sit there and do a 36-hour live stream on how much you hate Republicans. You would not elicit one bit of hate from me because you're entitled to feel how you choose to feel about something.
Yeah, brother Nate. Brother Clue put up one strag had almost 2 hours talking about the meetup photo. That's
Wow.
crazy. Yeah.
Wow. A lonely, stinky, sour vagina having strag that nobody wants. How many black babies have you aborted, you skunk of a woman? Why don't you go more in the death of your torn to pieces black babies, you nasty skunk of a bitch. Don't nobody give a damn what you think. Nobody. And nobody cares about what our detractors think, because you can't show your own work.
Nope.
Men have to show their work, period. Ladies get a slide on this. As long as you're pretty, as long as you're affable, as long as you can giggle and laugh, you'll get a pass, ladies. Men, we don't have any such luxury that's extended to us. We have to produce. And unfortunately, we got a bunch. Well, unfortunately for these loser niggas, we got a bunch of men who produce, and we had nothing but productive men there. I'm not saying only the productive men in the manosphere there. We got plenty of more productive men in the manosphere. We just need to get them on board with what we're doing. And the loser niggas who like to insult and disrespect and have nothing to show for their lives, niggas who are incapable of getting enough people into their filthy fucking bathrooms to fill them up. All it takes is 2 or 3 people to fill a filthy bathroom up. You couldn't even fill that with enough people to listen to your terrible goddamn streams, nigga.
Yo, that's right.
We're separating trash niggas from the men. That's what we're doing. You nasty, dysfunctional, hypocritical, unaccomplished niggas, go have a ball. Go giggle and hee and ha ha and make up shit about the manosphere. I hear niggas talking about the guest list when nobody had the guest list but me. Nobody had it but me until 2 days prior to the event. I kept it close. Nobody know who was coming. Niggas sitting around making up shit. You're a bunch of nasty bitches is what you are. And you still ain't picked up the phone and called me directly. You coward ass niggas. This is why you'll never be a part of what we do. And for the brothers who are sitting on the fence, for the brothers who might go by one of the little homo weirdo channels and Kiki and Kaka, once we see you over there canoodling with these weirdo homo niggas, there's no space for you anymore with what we're doing. So you might want to decide intelligently who you coming down on the side of.
Yeah, I
Because
had a
once
guy
you
named
PP and
you
Han, we're
hey,
done with
Nate,
you, nigga.
you ever heard of a guy named Jerome Whiteside? He came in. He said we were all embarrassing. I
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah. Wait. No, he said he originally said it was gay. We were all going down there to do something homosexual. Jerhomo Whiteside is the guy that threatened to
That's
murder
his
me.
name.
Yeah,
He did.
Jerhomo is what I call him. I call him
That,
Jerhomo. Yeah,
that's the dude. Okay, I
that's
was
the
wondering.
guy that said he was going to murder me and take me from my children. And I said, hey, man, come on to South Carolina. We're waiting. We got open carry. All right. And stand your ground. You're never going home, you effeminate little boy. He's never come down, of course. These niggas never follow through with their threats. They're trash. And I'm going to make sure everybody knows about it.
That's it. And everybody spam brother Nate's channel. He's gonna be on tomorrow. I'm gonna be on his channel tomorrow. And Nate is one of the and he spits that hot fire. So
I ain't got no choice, man. I ain't got
spit
no
it up.
choice. Because,
But,
bruh, not only, how dare we complain about the white man being our enemy? Our
well,
enemies look like us.
unfortunately,
Our
that's
enemies
true.
came out of a womb, the same womb we came out of.
Yep.
95% of our enemies look exactly like us. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all can talk all this white man bullshit all you want. Productive black men's primary enemy are other black people who are trying to tear him down. That's why we have such a brain drain in the black community. That's why our smartest, our most elite, our most prolific can't wait to get the fuck away from us because we're horrible and we treat them like shit. We treat our best the worst and we extol and celebrate the worst of us. Well, you filthy niggas can go ahead and do that. We're not doing it anymore. We're going to celebrate our best men, and anybody that doesn't like it, bring your monkey ass on down to Atlanta or Houston and come and approach a nigga. But you won't do that because you're cowards.
Facts.
You're fucking
Facts.
cowards. That's what
There
you
you
are,
go.
nigga.
There you
How about
go.
that? How about that? Come up on my shit, call my phone number and say something to me. And watch me tear your fucking face off, nigga. That's all I got, bro.
All right, brother Nate. Well, Nate's gonna be spitting some hot fire tomorrow. Gonna be a different topic. I'm gonna be on his show tomorrow, so I want everybody Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday to get over to the Little Big Nate show. Check me out on Wednesday. I'm 90% sure I'm going to be moving to Friday. I'm going to keep it in between your show and, I'll start off the
Sure, no
fireworks
problem, no problem.
and I'll let you complete the fireworks, brother Nate. But once again, this is a good brother. I was at the Manosphere Meetup myself tonight. I was just giving my recap of it. And I thank brother Nate for coming up. And shout out to you, brother Nate. You and Theo made it happen, and I was happy to be part of it, brother.
And nothing could have happened without our first responders, those 80 to 90 men who on faith hopped on planes, hopped in their cars, drove multiple hours across multiple states to be a part of it, man. There is in no way, shape, or form I can take all the credit for this. Thank you to the brothers that stepped out on faith and came and did their thing. And man, just let's gear up for 2022, man. We're about to get it. We're about to kill this shit.
I'm ready, brother. Well, thank you for coming up here, brother.
Thank you, sir. I so greatly appreciate it.
All right. Salute, my brother. Well, we had another exciting show here on the 401 Talk Zone radio show. I thank all of my participants on the panel and everybody in the chat. And I want you to know that the Manosphere Meetup was a success, like it or not. I took part in it. I'm happy it happened. And I created new friends, new inspiration. I also created more confidence in myself. And during that meeting, we didn't talk about anything negative. It was all family. It was positive energy. Certainly, I knew we were going to have a bunch of individuals who were going to be detractors. That's fine. I don't mind the critique. Nothing's perfect. But the end result was satisfactory to me. We accomplished something, so we have to raise the bar the next time. So, at the end of the day, do you want to achieve or do you want to fail? The choice is yours. And that's my commentary for this edition of the 411 Talk Zone Radio Show right here on YouTube. If you like what I just presented, please comment, share, and subscribe. And if you are looking for some educational material, you check out my second channel called The Mind of STEM. Now, on that channel, I give you a daily dose of science, technology, engineering, and math. Now, if you cannot find me on YouTube, and I also have a blog talk radio show, 215-383-5785. I have to get that working. If you can't find me on Blog Talk Radio, you can find the 411 Talk Zone radio show on Twitter, MeWe, and Parler, because that's where all the hardcore content goes. And for my STEM channel, you can also find me on Twitter, and you can find me on LinkedIn. And at the end of the day, I'm going to leave you with this. Be blessed for what you have. Don't worry about what you don't have. Always know that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. And for individuals who are in the business of jealousy, or let me make a correction. For the individuals I wasn't talking about, I'm just going to share this with you. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. But if the shoe fits, wear it. If you don't like the shoe, change it. And once again, thank you for listening to this edition of the 411 Talk Zone Radio Show. Till next time, my name is Leon Jones. I want you all to have a wonderful and blessed evening. God bless you. I'm out.